In a world where space and time are intertwined, one man dared to challenge the status quo. His name? Dayton Miller. His weapon of choice? A flute. But not just any flute. This instrument held the power to unleash the ether, a pervasive medium once thought to fill the universe. Miller, a physicist by trade, a musician at heart, discovered a harmonic resonance within the ether. He found that his flute, when played with precision, could manipulate this elusive medium. His melodies, a symphony of science, had the potential to shift the very fabric of reality. However, a sinister force lurked in the shadows. The Einsteinian demons. These creatures thrived in the distortion of space-time, causing chaos and disruption. The world needed a hero, and Miller was ready to answer the call. With his flute in hand, Miller played a tune that echoed through the cosmos. Each note, a shot of pure ether, struck the Einsteinian demons, dispelling them back into the void. The world was saved, not by a warrior, but by a musician, a scientist, a man with a flute. Remember, in this universe of wonder and mystery, sometimes the most unlikely heroes make the biggest impact. Keep your mind open, your heart brave, and who knows?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Ether Cosmology Thursday night chill session. We're going to be joining the panel here now.
All right, nice. Thank you, chat.
Yo, testing. Can you hear me, Shane?
Yes, but echo.
All right. Toby should have speaker and or co-host. Stone. And
You.
I had my volume turned down. I gotta rejoin. Back in a sec.
gotcha. Yo, Toby, did you get the co-host envy or nah? Probably not. Nope. Can you hear me, Toby? Thought we put somebody in charge of intro hype music.
Yo. Testing?
Yep. Testing, or we hear you. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Nice. Cool. You got everything set up, Shane, or are you still?
Sounds good. Alan, do you hear Shane?
Nope.
Oh boy.
Me neither. Actually, I saw him move his mic just a
Oh,
second.
Stone's not hearing you either, apparently. Wow.
Oh, Stone, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Alan, but not Shane. That's
damn.
weird. But I can see him operating his mic, but I just can't hear him.
Yeah. Yo, Shane, tell Shane to unmute on Discord so I can hear him.
You guys both just said the same thing at the same time.
Nice.
But Stone, I don't know
I can hear
how.
everybody.
I don't know what Stone will or what Shane will do by not being able to hear Stone.
Oh, we just throw him in the Discord channel too, I think, right?
So
Oh,
Shane,
Stone, I don't know what Stone will do now about not be able to hear Stone.
Stone needs to come in Discord with us, and we're good.
There you go.
but I got a tune to start it off. If anybody's interested, it's in video form currently, about 50 meg or something like that. If you guys want to stream it out the backside, I can telegram it to somebody who's game.
Not able to share audio on here. It would only be viewable for the Streamlads.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
it's
go
a little
ahead.
tune
Can
called
you mute in
Denial.
Discord, Ellen?
Yep,
Thank
done.
you. Thank you. All right. Why is it always us? We have started station. It's like, here's 7 hurdles that no one else has that you have to deal with.
Should I telegram it to somebody?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I said send it.
One sec.
How are we going to do that to the people in the space?
Ooh, so those people are hard excluded from this from this part of the activity, and it'll just be for the people on YouTube.
Well, I'll put the stream up here then, and then we can just stream it so everyone can look at that.
There you go.
And there we go, everyone. There we go, desktop and the back. So, welcome everyone. See what we can get up to tonight. Let's see here. I think
All right,
Stone
that's on
has
its
a
way.
video. Stone has a video for us to watch as an opening. Is this a new song you made? Oh, Stone's not in here.
No, we got to get Stone on. Stone, can you join Discord? But stay on Twitter as well.
Sure.
Yeah, because
And
otherwise.
stay here?
Yeah. Simultaneously.
Okay, one second.
Yep. Just join any voice channel and I'll pull you in.
Send him a direct invite to this one too.
Oh yeah, the old DI.
Ooh, we got a derp. That's probably a Glober, right?
Couldn't tell you.
It says this account is restricted.
Good to see my boy John Coffee down there. What's up? Give him a mic.
Okay, I'm in the main voice on Discord, but I don't see anybody else there.
All right, I have.
There you go. Now you're here with us.
I have swooned you away to a secret channel, and then you can hear it in there. You can hear Shane in there.
And now only everyone can hear me. This is how we work around.
Yep, I can hear him now.
Nice. All
That's
right.
bizarre.
Yeah.
It happens every week.
Dude, but we're about to land on Mars or whatever, so it's all good.
What do we got for the video? Where'd that go?
I got a tune headed Alan's way. It's about 2/3 of the way there now.
Oh, right. Internet. It's like things take time. Yeah, I forget that. Everything's instant for me. Dude, we had a heck of a week, I think.
Yeah, you want to do a little recap while we're waiting for the intro video? What's been going on? We went pretty hard on the old Graticule this week.
right? And we're trying to launch the platform from which to argue against maps. Now we had a Ruhif event where he came and showed us 16 emergency landings that are retarded and don't prove flat Earth. It turns out, and when you wrap them properly with their great circle routes, it's either a toss up or favors the globe. Except for that one. That one was a definite route on the AE map. But
That one.
dude, the way that one route, the plane went directly on the AE route, and he's like, "Yeah, I don't know why it did that." And it's like, because the Earth's flat, dude. He's like, but then there was a landing, and they went back to the Great Circle route, and I was like, "Yeah." So I'm kind of thinking that once they have the flight data, they just like backwards transcribe them to Great Circle routes. Dude, how hard is that?
It's pretty easy to do. I don't. I mean,
so
really.
when I was looking at what Rue was presenting, with the great circles and whatnot, and I was remembering back on what Model Builder presented, and when you could zoom in on all those flight routes, you actually see that they're not great circling. They're essentially just hitting like it looks like a grid formation, right? So like whenever they intersect or cross, they're just like hitting a reference point and then deviating to the next intersection point, and then just like doing just kind of zigzagging essentially, or like, whenever they have to zig, to make a correction, it's all through these like specific intersection points. It's not like plane specific where they're like, oh, hey, we're going to, start changing our course correcting here or something. It's like, it's at its specific points. So it kind of tells me that it's super automated in that regard. And it's just, the autopilot system is just referencing GPS to tell it where it's at, and it just makes corrections accordingly. And it's not so much about the great circleness, right? Like the great circle might have been super prevalent back in the day or whatever. But when you look at the uncorrected data that Model Builder presented, it doesn't really reflect the same kind of transportation that they would like to, or the transportation route that they would like us to believe is necessary and mandatory.
Yeah, and plus that one that it's like interrupted flight data, right? That's why we got that one. That one wasn't corrected, right? That's how we saw it. Like, oh, you went exactly on the flat Earth route, and then you had an actual emergency and stopped and veered back. So on that data, it didn't get retroactively corrected, right? It just shows that he went along the flat Earth route and then veered right towards the whatever the emergency stop was. So then it got me thinking, like, what if once they complete the route, there's just an automatic tidy process that's like, oh, let me calculate the meridian difference from where it was crossed, and here's where the actual data gets transcribed, and historically, here's where it went on the grad fuel.
Here's here it went on the old Grady. Yeah, essentially that seems to be what they could do. And I remember there was that plane a couple years ago that went missing in the middle of it was like Asianic plane something numbers or whatever. But anyway, it went missing, and there was a whole thing. And on the news, they were like, yeah, so GPS doesn't work out in the ocean. So like, we actually don't know where planes go. It's all just projections and all this stuff. And it was pretty interesting, where it was just like, oh, okay. So GPS is the most complete system ever, tells everything where it's at. But when a plane has to disappear and you don't have a reason for it, it's like, oh, well, it doesn't work over water and we don't know. And it just kind of goes in and out. It's like, all right, dude. So they could literally do anything and show you anything after the fact. And the fact that they show you any discrepancies is very nice of them.
Yeah. So,
did you want to add something?
Yeah, I think that was MH340 you were talking about. The one that just kind of
sounds familiar.
Very conspicuous people on board. Then, oh, what do you know? It just kind of disappeared. Yeah, $1 million jet. No way to find it. That's interesting, hey?
Stone, I feel like you're the perfect person to ask about this obscure thing, like this niche subject. Is it possible, like, anytime they need something to go wrong, they're like, oh, well, that black box that like is supposed to tell us everything about everything? Like, we can't find it, or it didn't work. Like, how does that even happen, dude?
Every time.
Well, I assume that's the air data box they're always talking about. And it's good at telling you how the plane crashed. Definitely not where. You know what I mean?
Oh, really?
What would it have other than exterior data?
Well, there would be ambient data. Sure, there's pressure, there's temperature outside, that kind of thing. There's what your nav is doing relative to the vector that you're on. You're going to see a bit of that. But I don't know, man. I'd be really interested
You lose Stone? It's just me.
Cut out.
Yeah, cut out for me too.
Dang it.
Yeah, I bet I am too. I'm getting a circle on your transmission here too. So let me decomplicate. Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Okay. How far did I get?
You got to, let's see. You were saying that you it's not good at telling, you know, how or where, but how.
Yeah. Lots of flight dynamic data, like what your wing trim is like, and you know what I mean, what your engines are wound up to, and how lean is your fuel, and where is your fuel distributed in the craft. I'm sure there's lots of that going on. But I'd be really interested in knowing how much GPS fixed data goes to the air data box in terms of even a time loop style of recording to keep your data pile small. That would be very interesting to see. But again, that's all on board after you find the craft. And they
Right.
assume most of the time that when the craft goes down, they assume it's over land most of the time, and there's this big smoke trail to follow. So, you know, they're easy to find.
Follow the smoke.
But you know, it's all about the transponder for me, though. That's definitely outside the data box. That's a whole other function, a whole other module in your dashboard. The transponder is the thing that's, you know, you hitting the tower and constantly updating the tower in a very automated way, in a very coded way, what certain elements of your flight dynamic are, like your speed and that kind of thing, your direction. That's all going, not necessarily being, you know, received by radar hitting you, tracking your actual movement, but actual radar gear that's pulling that signal down and receiving what you're sending automatically out the bottom of the craft, just sort of as a background process. That's the kind of stuff that gets to the controller screen radar readout, that kind of thing. That's what you're seeing when they do the sweep. It's not like, I don't know, there's going to be two, depending on the range, like how far away is that craft from the radar and what data they're relying on. But yes, a lot of it has to do with fairly current takes on transponders and all of the data that they send. But even then, you know, again, no radar stations over the water, not really going to get a very accurate fix on that craft unless you have, you know, some triangulation going on, which I don't think they spend money on typically for commercial flights. There's so many of them. Why would they track that? It's even half the guys that are also in the air with you, seeing if they've got eyes on you, helping tower when you look at the communicational style over the water. Yeah,
Oh yeah,
very,
it's like a
very
giant
interesting.
relay.
Exactly. It's like, oh yeah, do you see that guy? You're 2:00 at 5,000 feet above you, and you confirm with tower that yes, there's a craft there, or no, there isn't a craft there, and that helps them figure out how close you are to where you should be as well, because they're also talking to that craft, of course. You know, so it's really interesting that they just completely lost an aircraft and they couldn't see, you know, the day that it happened specifically, especially that day. Even 2 days after, there would just be this massive pollution spot on the water where everything that came out of this craft, assuming that it didn't land gracefully, you know, there's going to be a pollution trail all over the surface of the water from everything that floated when it broke up, quote, hitting the water, doing God knows how many hundreds of miles an hour. You know, how could they not see that? That's really the question. Just getting close with where they think the plane is, and then going to that location and doing methodical sweeps, half a mile wide by half mile this way or that way. You know, 30 minutes later with 10 craft, you're done. You've scanned that whole area. You either found it or you didn't. It was either there or it wasn't. And I'm definitely getting the impression that it was never there, that it didn't hit the water or just disappear on that spot, that it just went dark. They just turned the transponder off and then go somewhere else with the plane.
Just went for a little cruise.
Just a little kind of side journey, a little side trip. Yeah, very likely.
Some say they flew over the ice wall.
Well, this was a fairly equatorial scenario, so I don't know about that.
Dude, that's hilarious. Somebody did actually say that, and it's not even near the ice wall. That's great.
Is that from your chat?
No, it was just from memory.
As memory serves, this flight was fairly near Indonesia or of the like, you know, that part of the world, and they're pretty equatorial.
Man, so yeah, dude, been a hell of a week for the gratitude. As we were saying. And I don't know about you guys, but I've been battling all week about these people who are just like, yeah, but longitude, okay, but does it converge? Okay, but 69 miles, it's a sphere. Is it linear? And then like every step of the way, and it's just like, yeah, but you know how Piper complained that I sent him a video of me speaking in my voice and directly answering his question, and then he quoted server rules like, you must be able to summarize the point, and it's like, if it's my video and you don't watch it, like, you know, I don't know, man. I don't know. I guess I don't have the patience to explain to a dumb glober 7 times the same thing, especially when I put time into like crafting a video to like under 2 minutes explain that exact point. So I don't know. Maybe am I crazy, guys, or what?
I see it as a blatant show of disrespect, and yeah, I would refer everybody back to Friday night for equal displays of that kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, that's like literally if you've been talking for 2 hours and you can't regurgitate, like if you can't like name a single thing that I've said, let alone refine my point or even, God forbid, steel man it, right? If you can't repeat a single thing I've said over 2 hours, you haven't listened to a single thing. There's no way around that, right? You've just been patiently waiting to speak or waiting to say the next thing or doing the globe thing where it's like, I don't have to listen because what you say doesn't matter because I'm still in the majority. So no, you know? And that's what you see.
A la social.
Yep. And then that dude Piper is good for one. Like, let me ask the same question 11 times. And even though you answered it 11 different ways with different forms of media and audio and visual with memes and infographics and text and a simile, I'm just going to go from here and say that no one can answer my question.
Well, that's what they do. That's all they're ever going to do. So, I mean, it's never surprising to me at this point.
It still is to me. I guess that means I'm retarded, huh? Shit.
Dude, yeah, I kind of feel like we're retarded because it is. Yeah, I still get a little surprised. I'm like, dang, for real? The 10th, the 15th time?
Like
17 times the charm.
Yeah, I shouldn't be surprised. You're right, but I still am, and that's on me.
So yeah, if anyone wants to request a mic or ask any questions or anything like that, you guys are all free to request mics. This is a community event for the boys as well.
Alien Light. You must be new, but welcome, dude. I can't really tell. Wait, no, I can tell. He's a speaker. Oh, what's up, man?
Yeah, who are we lining up?
Dude, we got Alien Light and we got Xavier about to come up. So
Cool.
Did Alien Light just dip and say, oh my God, am I on stage? I'm on.
phoned home or whatever the aliens do.
Nah, he probably just got Elon'd.
But you didn't want to speak. You didn't have to accept. It's like, oh, I'm on stage. It's like, yeah, that's what accept the mic to speak means. You get. You should get facing reality up here. What's up, man?
Yo,
He'll just talk.
absolutely. Dude, we got Zave and I are gonna do a duet on Friday.
You're just gonna sing a comfort song about relativity?
Yeah,
or?
like acapella. What's up, man?
No, we're gonna sing Many Men by 50 Cents.
All right. How much money do we need to pay Xavier to actually do that, though? Xavier, what do you think?
Oh, I mean, dude, he's doing it on the free.
Pro bono, bro. Pro bono.
Love it.
Is this a union gig?
He's paying us.
Yeah,
Delightful.
Stone may or may not play a little part in it. We need someone to do like the instrumental stuff. Stone's obviously busy, but he did say he could be the gunshot. So
Yeah, let me line that up.
if you could just send us a recording of you firing off 9 to 10 rounds. How many times was he shot?
Who?
Fofty.
Trumpy, there were a total of 11 rounds fired there, including that triple that took the shooter out.
No, I'm talking about 50 Cent.
Oh, I'm not tight with that. Not sure what you're talking about there.
When he got shot.
Oh, like 9 or 11 times.
Yeah.
Did Fitty get shot? Holy shit! When was that?
Dude, he got smoked in like the 90s.
11 times.
Oh,
yeah.
okay, a long time ago. I thought you meant like recently. Okay.
Yeah, no. This was a hot minute ago.
Wooden on the club, no, broke down, motorhead, bed, gonna cut up, but get down, burn in.
Dang, that's spot on. Nice job.
Wow.
Yo, where'd Stone go? It's plus 50 here.
That guy's a trip.
Did you guys ever see there was his like business manager or something owed him money, and he was like low-key threatening him or something, and the text messages that his business manager sent back, he was like, Fofty, please. He called him Fofty, dude. See if I can find it. That's not important. But yeah, Fofty. Hilarious.
That's the fastest way to get your ass kicked.
Like, Fofty, please. Be reasonable, Fofty.
Dude, I wonder if hey, have you guys caught any hate from the flat earthers being like, actually, we caught a little bit of hate, right, from our boy Mike Jones, who was like, you're just gonna let Ruiv beg the question 100 times. We're like, well, kinda, but did we anyone catch any other flat earth heat for that event?
No. Somebody stopped by the comments and asked, why we did that, and I said that it was to explain the use of the graticule and the misunderstanding of distances on different projections, and he was like, oh yeah, that's a great idea, awesome. So I mean, I guess none.
Nice. Yeah, I guess it was just Mike Jones who was just like, you can't let him beg the question, and it's like, well, we can and we want him to, so like it's kind of the point.
Exactly. What do expose?
Some questions need begged or whatever.
Yeah,
I don't know if they say that, but
I know on Twitter people were like, oh, that was Ruiv did a great job defending the globe. I think Zetetic said that. It was like, yeah, we all agreed too. He did a great job. Because I think Swahala was like, oh, Ruiv scorched you guys. And it was like, oh, bro. Did you watch it? Or
Somebody was not paying attention.
watching it with his globe glasses on, dude.
Dude, he was just like, oh, is there a thing? Roof was there? Yeah, he wins. It's like, it wasn't that kind of a thing, bro. You can obviously, you just surface level heard a rumor and started to input your opinion.
Heard a rumor, dude.
It's like, yeah, I heard that this went down, and it's like, no, it's not like I guess it doesn't sound good if you're like, no, we won one, man.
Score was 1-9, dog. We won.
No, we'd already forsaken all of those, so one was a bonus we didn't expect to get.
Yeah, one was news to me, man. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. We knew all those were not good globe arguments. We've already been over all of them, because if you don't do a good job steelmanning the globe, your argument is kind of worthless, and that sucks if you make a really good argument, right? Because you just based it on nothing, and now it's effectively neutralized.
You got that neutrally buoyant argument.
It's like that's why we spend so much time steelmanning the globe, and that's why we do it so hard. Like when it did tides, it's like, yeah, I'm gonna need 273 slides to show you. Tides. And it's like, because no one will steelman it harder than that, right? It's not gonna be a glober who's gonna up the lines like, well, you didn't do this. Like, no. or even satellites, right? To understand how useful they are to us, you have to go into relativity, reference frames, coordinate systems, transforms, the speed of light. You got to read some papers. You got to read about the Sagnac effect. You got to read up on meridian corrections, and then you're like, "Holy shit, is that retarded?" But it's a lot of context,
And Doppler.
right?
Oh, very important, dude. I heard a really good argument the other day. It was like, it's just like for how simple it was, but it was, how relativity says all inertial frames are equally valid. Well, you can show with Doppler shift that that's not the case. Like even if you're like, no, speed, same, whatever. It's like, dude, but you could still define it from the measurement with the Doppler shift because it's apparent relative to the observer, dog. It's literally like, I can't believe they had the gall to say that to us for all these years, dude.
Yeah.
It's actually insane.
It's still the exact same directly applicable like phenomenon, math, like effect, like everything about it. It's just like, the causal mechanism is still clear as day, no matter how you slice it.
Even as I came to understand just the basic premise of relativity, it took me right back to the thought experiment that everybody was hot for in high school. Okay, so you're in this supercar, and it's a really fast car, right? And it goes the speed of light, right? Okay, and there's lights on the front, dude. Do they work? Okay, so let's say the car's coming at you, and it's like 5 light minutes away, right? And it's doing the speed of light, and its lights are on. Can you tell?
Oh,
It's
dude.
like, no, wait a minute, dude. I mean, like, I spent like 5 seconds thinking about that shit before I'm like, no, nothing comes out the front because it's already doing the speed of light. Light goes the speed of light. It's going the speed of light. You're not going to see anything until it's right in your fucking face, lights on, as it goes past you, Star Trek style. You're not going to see it with its lights on until it's coming past you because it's happening at the same. I mean, Einstein's the guy who's going, oh no, that's incorrect. We have the relativity with any frame is valid, so C is always C. C is always C. That means so because the car is going C, then light must be going twice C.
Dude, there's a little
It's like, are you
relativistic.
retarded?
There's a little relativistic correction you could apply to make sure that relativistic velocity addition never exceeds C. It was the craziest thing ever. It was just like, oh, you just threw that in there to just like, it's not derivable from anything. It's just, how you would reduce it mathematically to zero out anything that exceeds it so that it would never add to the speed. And it's just like, oh, cool. You can just do that for free.
Somebody had to give Einstein the old heads up there that this is not the same as when you're standing on a train and the train's doing 40 miles an hour and you throw the ball 40 miles an hour so the ball's doing 80. It's, you know what I mean? There might be a slight parallel there, guy.
Yeah, it's insane.
That's a pretty funny, simple example of how your belief is retarded, though.
Dude, he smoked his own math.
In a math pipe.
Yo, is that Rolando that just hopped in? That dude's been backing me up on tweets for 3 weeks. I'll just post a tweet and then I'll read Rolando for 400 tweets.
Dude, yeah. If Rolando's on the case, you could let him take the wheel.
He just destroys, and he has the patience of a saint, and he'll destroy consistently for 3 hours, and I'm just like, hats off, bro. I gave up on that guy the very first tweet, and here you are, still pounding him into the sand like bars are beating Barrio, See if we can get Rolando to speak. Come be vocal, man.
Dude, we have to socially shame him like we did with Gleam. All right, boys, the show is now paused until Rolando comes up here.
Waiting.
Most people just leave. That only worked with Gleam for very specific circumstances.
So is anybody else noticing that icosahedron here, this guy, Zero Burr W, is constantly changing his avatar from one to the other? Is that the equivalent of holding up your hand or something?
I have no idea. I'm gonna send him a microphone and see what's on.
See what happens.
I didn't know he was changing or who he is. But he's pinned ADL.play, so I don't know, man.
He pinned
Seems
the
like
good
a
one.
good-
He pinned the good one. He's like he's okay. He's aces in my book.
Yeah, seems pretty good.
Imagine going to ADL, the bad one, and pinning that.
I love how the good one and the bad one is a real distinction now on Twitter, even, and that also own the bad one and the good one. So if you're looking for ADL, you get us. Sorry, guys.
Well, yeah, like one was founded to make sure that a pedophile never gets murdered, and then the other one isn't that.
One of it's founded to spread that and make fun of that. So
Yeah.
it's different. Well, anyway, if the lender doesn't come up, I want you to know I appreciate you, man. You're 11.
Yeah, same. I see you out there on the streets.
There's a lot of comment about it.
Orlando keeps busy, that's for sure. What up, man?
You guys all noticed his escapades then, not just me. Excellent.
Dog, when you get 30 notifications and it's not from an anti-FER, you got to take a second to be like, what the heck is going on here?
Yep.
And then you read it and you're like, oh, this is the most reasonable thing I've ever seen in my life.
Or like when you get a notification, you're like, who the hell are you responding to? And everything that he says is muted and blocked. And I'm like, dude, who are you arguing with? No, never mind. You're doing great. Like, I know that you're doing great.
Yeah. Like, who are you? I don't care. You're doing great.
It's like, I know that I hate them. So it's fine.
Get it.
That's the exact thought process.
Dude, but you know what, though?
You scroll up because you want to know, and then you're just like, I don't care.
But I can recreate the conversation just from his side, so I don't really need to, you know? Like, I know what's going said. I know what he's battling against, and he's destroying. They just say the same nonsense stuff. Oh, and who is he decking on? Who's that stupid physicist that we all Franco? Who's Franco's buddy? Who's an equal douchebag? Giovanni.
Yeah.
Giovanni. Rolando was smashing that dude like for 7 hours straight about like his thesis, his PhD, his credentials, every which way, electrical field theory, fields in general. I think every single aspect of his knowledge was just superior to this dude. You know, it's like, Rolando, who are you? Like, where did you come from?
Dude, he's that Twitter Honda.
Schooling Franco. Sorry, we all love to school Franco. I like how the Globers are like, oh, but he's a physicist. It's like, yeah, but did you hear the retarded shit that he said? Did you hear him try to defend virtual photons? No?
Or Earth frame.
Oh, Rolando says he doesn't have a microphone. Thank you, Kat. But
Try some smoke signals or something.
But he also said he's sending me a message through the ether. Hold on one second, guys. He says much appreciated for the compliments and much respect, and he loves fucking owning nerds on Twitter.
I heard that too. Much respect.
Okay, well then he should supply a mailing address, and someone needs to send him a mic. It's that simple.
I got 2 on my desk. You need an extra one, bro?
See, that's what I'm talking about.
Like, I think if you go outside, you can find a microphone in the parking lot of Walmart.
I bet you my dog could find it on the side of the road. Oh, wait, no, that's just chicken bones, and he finds them everywhere. It's just me.
And he still uses them to communicate via IP, though. A lot of people don't know this, but chicken bones are great conductors of information.
Dude, what I don't get is I live in a city, and how are there fucking chicken bones everywhere? Like, there's no, it's pavement, guys. My dog, people just throw chicken bones. I don't know. Not a topic for this space, but it's perplexing.
You don't walk around just eating a wing and then you just like throw it out when you're done.
Dude, it's like everybody in the world does that. That it would have to be the case that the whole city does that everywhere. It's like, what the hell? We got Dave down there in the chat. What's up, Dave? Do you want to argue some flight can't be possible on a globe arguments?
Got some new lyrics?
What is that one dude named Coriolis? You'd probably love him. I think I blocked him.
Yeah, what up with that guy? Yes, us a tweet or two you made about him. Or two. I'm like, it's like, what are you talking about? We did this how many times and you don't know what the hell I'm saying? He says, I don't know. You know what you're saying. Just answer my question.
Yep. Like, dude, so the logic of that is I don't have to listen to what you're saying to know that you're wrong. Okay, stay with me here. How do you know that it's wrong? It's like,
No,
you're your position as an ignorant fuckwit. You're just like,
yeah, that doesn't check out. It just turns out you're actually inherently wrong.
yeah, it doesn't matter what you say. It's you're still wrong. So there, I don't even have to listen. That's how it works, right? You're a flirt.
Hashtag Tyson told me.
When you realize that someone that you're arguing with like thinks that, you're like, oh, I've been wasting my time. I see that now. Wow, my bad.
Yo, man the fort for a second. You got AFK for a minute.
Yep. Hey Xavier, how's your OBS spot going?
It's tedious right now. Just whenever I say, all right, that's enough. So I find another site with some other cool little bells and whistles and say, all right, maybe not yet. let's just get some more some transitions. It's coming along nice though.
Have you tried it at all? Or are you just still researching mode?
Yeah, I got a burner that I tested on. When I find some things are not aligned, I'll just delete and try again.
Nice. Can't wait to see your super spaces. Also, did you do it on Sunday and I missed it? Because I want to go to a Xavier space. I need to learn my logic from you.
No doubt, bro. No, I haven't done it yet. I'm just trying to get this down. I'll definitely send you a DM.
Dude, the logic spaces are much needed, man. I was re-listening to the beginning of Bennett's presentation he did for the Alpha Hildegrand model, and like just the beginning of that, like the philosophy and going over it, and like having that structure and that logical, cohesive, way to interpret everything is just invaluable, man.
Yeah, that was a fantastic breakdown he did.
Yeah, when you see it, you realize its absence has been critical, and you're like, oh.
Dude, so like it's like there's this thing missing. What is it? And then you just hear him talk about it. You're like, oh, it's that. That's what
logical cohesion. Oh, I knew it. Like most of us like inherently recognize when it's illogical. That's what Wittem said before he even knew like what fallacies were by name or classification. He just knew it was inherently illogical. And I think most of us have that, but not to that degree. Like we know enough to not make fallacious arguments ourselves, I think, inherently, but not inherently enough to call out fallacies when being used, I think. Well, now we do, but like I didn't at first at all, right? It's like, yeah, you can reify all day. I'll let you because I don't know what that word means.
Yeah, dude, calling it in real time is a whole different skill set. Like after the fact, you can analyze and go, oh yeah, it stems from this fallacy, that fallacy. But yeah, doing it in real time is a whole different skill set. And then constructing arguments yourself just so that you're not fallacious in the way that you're presenting your idea it's such a great skill because it's like me and my buddy used to play a game regarding Jewish mysticism and it was called Find the Lie. And like we could never find the lie, right? Because it was what was being said was true. And it's like it's one of those games where it's like, find the lie in what I'm saying. And it's like, okay, GPS, well, I found it. Well, it's not, one of those things where it's just, you try and give someone a road that they can look back on and go, okay, well, they got there from here. And, this is why they think that way. And it's not like, it's not disconnected or, leaps of logic and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
Definitely feel like I got forced to be primed with a lot of it in 2020. Like I was really forced to look at like where logic was being employed and what was being preached to me. It started to matter. It started to matter to me a lot more in 2020. I'll put it that way.
I think that was common sense for me. Maybe I didn't use logic in that. Maybe I'm wrong with that. Because it was like, the people who profit from sickness say that we're all sick and need to buy their cure. My common sense.
There's that. But then there's also, how are these people that could never possibly have more information than me telling me asserting to me confidently that it's safe and effective is like, wow, okay, they're just saying it. They don't know it, and they're just saying it. And seeing so many people just say it was really like, just employing simple logic. It's like, oh, it's because they just say anything.
Yeah. It's tricky though, because they lied through their teeth. So it was like discernment to its extreme. Like, do you believe the government? It's like, hell no. Well, you'll be fine. Do you believe the government? It's like, yeah, well, they said they tested it and it's safe for pregnant ladies. Oh, you're gonna have a bad time, you know?
Yeah.
They didn't test it on anyone, but it's safe for pregnant ladies. Okay, let's walk through that logic though.
I knew the jig was up when they went to Fauci and publicly videoed and broadcasted him getting the jab. And then hours later, he's being interviewed on some other show, probably CNN or some jack shit like that. And they said, oh yeah, how did it go, Fauci? He's like, oh yeah, fine. And he rubs his other shoulder. I have a video of that up on BitChute.
I didn't notice that one.
Oh yeah, man. No, it's very revealing.
I mean, we know they're not injecting themselves with poison, but like a plunge needle that recedes, I thought that wasn't too much. That's right. He's like, I forgot which arm I faked it in.
Oh, it's just brutal.
Yeah, so that was a good logic test, I think. That was the good first principle test of pattern recognition, critical analysis, thinking for yourself. It's like, oh, the first page of Google says vaccines are safe and effective, but everything else says that they're deadly and killing people, and at autism, it's like,
Well, there's also like, when you're going against what the mainstream is saying, it's like you have no other choice other than to just like try and find as much logic as you can to convince somebody, right? Like okay, they may have said all that stuff, but then why is Pfizer having these, Central American countries put up entire military bases as collateral in case of it, like, in case things go poorly with the vaccine? Like, why would they do that if it was so safe and effective? Just like simple logic questions. Like you have the, I had to start thinking a little bit differently around that, and definitely prepared me a little bit for these discussions about ether and flat earth and such.
Dude,
I think there's a lot of parallels too with people who are scrutinizing the jab and flat earth. I think they don't even realize, the people who do reject the mainstream narrative around the vax, that they're kind of doing the same thing when they're not listening to flat earth. They believe in models. They believe in while they reject the viral model, right? I used to just take it as a given that viruses exist until somebody challenged me on that, and I said, I don't know how we found out that viruses exist. What is this exosome theory you got? I mean, I'm not saying that they do or they don't, but just challenging the basic axioms that we take as a given. It's not an axiom after all. I don't know how viruses were proven to exist. So,
right. And then you find out, like, oh, well, they think that things are contagious, and they tested this theory by smearing mutagen and snot and everything they could from people to people who were sick, and they could never actually infect a person. And you were like, whoa, that's weird, but I thought that's how you get sick, and that's why you can't, and that's why you have to wear a surgeon's mask. And it's like, no, that never works. And it's like, oh, wait, what? Then how does health work? How do we get sick?
but all the kids at the daycare are sick, and now my kid's sick.
Right. Yep. Yep, there's definitely logic there, right? People need to employ logic, but I definitely didn't do it for flat Earth, man, until I saw Witsit doing like logical reports, and like analyzing, and like in real time. And he's like, "Oh, he said reify. What does that mean?" And then I looked it up, and I was like, "Oh crap! I should have been saying that to everyone."
Yeah, dude, reify was an eye opener. When I realized that was a thing that was happening, I was like, "Oh, you can't just do that."
It's like
huge.
the globe was built on that. It's like we made this fake thing, and then we invented this other fake thing to substantiate the first fake thing. Guess what we did to substantiate the second fake thing? New fake thing. That's right. And off we go. Fake things upon fake things, all supporting each other until we have these mutually exclusive claws, like when our fake asteroids wipe out the fake dinosaurs and they self-mutually eviscerate each other, and there's no evidence. That's how you know it's true.
Dude, there was a little piece of an asteroid left that hit the Earth. That was, was ginormous, right? and a dinosaur ran into it at full speed to finish breaking it apart.
Yeah, but it's so hard to turn to dust.
It annihilated its whole race doing that, but it also killed that meteor that killed everyone else. So,
and then at the end, when he was done with that little part, it actually fell right in the center and then disintegrated because there's no trace of him anywhere, and that's how we know it's true as well.
Yeah. History. And you know how we know that's true though? Real talk though? You want to know some real shit? You want to know how all that's backed up? Sediment layers in the ocean.
What can we point to that's obscure that normal people will never be able to get to that we can hang this whole thing on?
Every time there's a where's your model? I think of Toby's geomagnetism presentation, where it was like, these people have a whole religion built on sediment layers in the sea changing their magnetic orientation. And they're like, oh, look, it must have flipped. Oh, it flipped again. Oh, we can actually predict the flip. We're the flip predictors. And then they're 750,000 years off of their flip predict. It's like, what? You want me to replace your model, bro? Oh, hold my beer. Dude, is the threshold just shit under the sea and I make up a story about it? One sec, dog. I got you. I didn't know we could just make things up.
Dude, the importance of learning to reify. It's like they've been reifying all day. We didn't know that. Like, we make up other fake things, then this actually support. Okay, well, photon makes up the electron, and the electron supports the particles. Actually, particles actually support relativity, and that's how ether. And that's gravity. And you're like, whoa, hold on now.
Hey, don't forget about the positron.
Oh, how many fake particles are there, man? How many particles do you need to fake to create one fake force? Or to justify one fake force? What's up, Cage? Good to see you, man.
What's up, dogs? How you doing?
What up?
Yo, hey.
Chilling. Saw you guys. I was all like, let's go see what they're gonna talk about today. See if we can't learn something. Whatevs.
What's your favorite sediment level orientation?
What is my favorite? I don't even know how to respond to that.
My favorite is when it's aligning east-west.
When you have to back up.
Nice.
I
See,
like
that's
them
pretty
kind of north-southy, because then, they all look stripy and stuff in the diagrams.
Yeah, stripy is conducive to super electromagnetic dynamo model that totally works.
Then, oh, you know what? We can't even simulate it because the Earth would be the core would be spinning too fast. But like, just trust us. It's the biggest "just trust us, bro" ever.
And the gall on the people from the globe who are like, "Where's your model?" And it's like, hold on, though, you don't have any single cohesive model for any of the phenomenon, right? You think you do because you haven't looked, but you have many different models that definitely don't cohesively work. And what do they make fun of us with? Even if a flat earther explains something, it doesn't work cohesively with the rest of the model. And it's like, no, false. Couldn't be further from the truth. Our stuff is cohesive collectively and logic. Your stuff is ad lib and all disconnected. You have 9 separate theories for the phenomenon that we're explaining in a cohesive, integrated explanation. But whatever.
I have yet to see one actually produce a model of what they think they believe in.
No, you get answers like, come on, man, Google Earth.
Yep.
It works, man. It works.
Don't you know?
Google Earth. It's right there. Look at it. It's round. Fucking.
Look at that graticule.
But my favorite, a picture of a dude holding up his phone and no text, like idiot. Like, okay, you got me. That's the globe model.
Where's your dude? Just hold. That's what you should do next time someone asks for your model. Just take a picture of yourself holding the phone up.
It's like, we can't do that. How do we let you guys get away with that shit? H, you got a fan on? You chilling?
I do have a fan. Can you hear my fan? It's like 10 feet away from me. You can hear my fan? Damn.
Can you hear my fan?
We can also ascertain that it's on the medium setting.
Damn, it is on number 2, man. On number 3, it's really loud. On number 1, I don't get enough air pushes. I had to go with had to suck go on number 2.
Yeah, we could tell.
It is super humid where I'm at, dude. It's like 90% humidity, so it's literally hell. If I believed in that. How are you guys on your eternal damnation and punishment from the all-loving creator? How does that work for you guys?
Well, I
You guys
got
believe in hell?
7 with 21% humidity. I mean,
Nah, sounds gay.
that's
No, I mean going to hell, not the other thing. Not what you were saying. You're cool, bro. You're cool. Going to hell's gay though.
Your temperature's not gay. It's fine. Only hell's gay.
super gay. It's got the devil in it.
I remember hearing that story. They were like, so there's an all-loving God, right? And he has kids. You're his children. He loves you. And when you do one wrong thing, he puts you in a closet and punishes you for all eternity and never lets you out.
Yeah.
You know, that's not how I would raise my kids. So, like...
But he loves you.
He loves you,
See,
but he's eternal torment.
That kind of stuff is what kept me from, like, you know, I wasn't like like I didn't hate God or anything like that, but I was like, I could never like put myself in that position or whatever to like understand that connection aspect of it, because it was always presented through this lens of like, oh, but you're gonna go to hell though if you don't. Like, I just want you to believe because I'm concerned for your soul. I'm like, what? You just worry about you just worry about other people for fun. You just wander around all day worrying about other people. Like, what the fuck? That's like I couldn't. That was like, I just fully rejected that. And then, you know, I was like, yeah, Jupiter's gas anyway, and we live in a Goldilocks zone. So I mean, you know, God's cool, but maybe he should have put us in like a permanent zone instead of a Goldilocks zone that's temporary. That seems retarded. Like, you know, like I was totally wrapped up in science and shit, and I just didn't have that connection.
Yeah, no, I get it. And people are like, oh, you have to do this or you'll be punished for eternal torment. And it's like, nah, you should do it because it's good. Did you not read? Like, I feel like you maybe have misinterpreted the point of the lesson we're supposed to learn. It's like, do it or you die. It's like, no. Do it because it's right. Guys, it's not hard.
Yeah, when I was atheist, I used to say that. I used to be like, you're not really doing it for the sake of doing the right thing. You're doing it to avoid infinite punishment, or you're trying to get reward into heaven. So, are you really just not a douchebag that's doing it to avoid punishment or to get reward? The atheist doesn't think that any of that stuff exists. So, if I screw up, my neighbor's gonna have a bad day, and he might throw that bad day back onto me. It was always this mutual agreement type of thing. So that kind of stuff did fool me to think that religious folks were just kooky and they had it all wrong.
So is there a limit to how many parking tickets you can have and still get into heaven?
Dude, I don't know if you guys...
Is there like degrees to it? Like, if you get X amount of parking tickets, is that a felony?
You know, but I'm not paying them all. Fuck it.
Dude, I don't know if you guys ever saw The Good Place as a show, but it is really funny and is not a bad show. And it literally is built around the point system on people getting into heaven.
Yeah,
right?
That was a good series.
So, like,
Ted Danson and the gang there. Yeah.
Yep. And like the whole joke is like nobody gets into heaven, right? Except everyone's in hell because the point system is so skewed that nobody ever accrues enough points to actually get into heaven because everybody fucking sucks. And the whole it's like the whole system is like that. And then like the show goes on, I won't give it away, but like that principle is kind of what we're talking about here. It's like, ooh, if I get enough points by saving non-Christians and Muslims, then I get to go to heaven. And it's like, dude, no, you've been coerced into a form of psychological control via the form of religion, which someone has weaponized spirituality. You got to wake up.
Man, I was totally down with that Goldilocks zone, man, thinking, man, we are just, I mean, totally had to believe in God for this, but he put us in just a perfect system here and dodging asteroids, except for the dinosaurs, man. They had to go, man, because we can't live with those. Can you imagine if a dinosaur was walking down the street? That would suck. They had to go, man, so we needed that one rock. But I was all like, man, he was doing good with all that other stuff, man.
Hey, Cage, how does a T-Rex get up if it falls down?
Man, you see, it's got that tail right there, and what it does is it kind of slides it in between its legs there, and just it does a little flippy thing, man. It actually,
Hey, waggled his wig.
It
Dude,
starts
how did he
doing
know
the
that
worm.
exactly? Did he watch the video too? He didn't even watch the video. How do you know that, guys? He described it verbatim.
He intuitively worked it out that it would be the only possible way, regardless of how ridiculous it sounds, and fully leaned into it, as did the mainstream scientist.
Oh,
I think if you listen to enough Neil deGrasse Tyson Star Talk, you kind of just start to get an intuition for these things.
Of course, the tail would be a leverage to get him up.
Speaking of Neil deGrasse Tyson Star Talk, I heard
I'm a
Nicolas Cage
builder.
subscribe to him, like premium.
Give me a lever. Give me a lever. I'll move the world.
Wait, what? We have to all defriend Nick Cage. Is that what he said?
Yeah, he's a premium member on Star Talk Radio. So I'm talking in chat to Neil deGrasse Tyson and the other guy that co-hosts that.
He's the
comedian.
highest level Patreon subscriber of Neil deGrasse
Dude,
Tyson.
He's a tier one sub dog, $25 a month. To your boy.
Did somebody really say they got to use their tail to get up?
No, we watched the whole video because we asked the question and we all like kind of laughed. And the actual explanation is exactly what you said, except we watched the neat little animation where the dude explained that, of course, it can't use its tiny little hands, but it does have a giant tail. And it's, of course, its center of gravity functions like a berry center or whatever for its center of mass. And when it's laying on the ground, it just pops its tail off and off it goes, you know?
There's a Lagrange point between the dinosaur.
Lagrange point.
No, his head only weighs about as much as a pickup truck. He could just stand right up.
He's not top heavy at all, yeah.
The head's actually kind of got away a little bit because it's got to use it's got to be able to flip, man. So it's got to use that. It's got to get that counterbalance going on there to help it get the full somersault. It's got to do a somersault. It's got to do a spin. That's what it's got. It can't just pop up, man, because then it break off its tail, man. It's got to do it a little spinny, like a Sonic the Hedgehog style. You go in a circle.
It's pretty good. You get like a real mainstream scientist imagination on you, don't you?
Dude, you asked me that, and that's exactly what I was like. How the hell would this motherfucker get up? You'd have to say.
Wait, didn't they figure out that they all had feathers now or something like that? They got to redo Jurassic Park with feathers.
Whole birds of dinosaurs or something.
So all these giant things that were killing everybody evolved into little tiny tasty treats. Huh? Fuck it.
We have chicken farms.
And then the earth just turned into like tasty seasoning to put on the tasty treats. Come on.
Telling you.
So wait, were you joking about Nick Cage subscribing to our boy, or was that a
Oh
real
yeah,
thing?
no, I was just totally making that up just to see how
Okay.
that would turn out, like as a back and forth banter. But I don't think he heard it.
He was just
Who what? I didn't hear it.
Yeah, see, yeah, totally missed it.
ruined it. My bad.
Yeah, I was telling everyone how you were subscribed to Neil deGrasse Tyson's podcast, Star Talk Radio, and how you were a tier 1 sub.
Oh,
Tier 1 Patreon sub, yep.
See, what I do is I freelance there, and I give Neil deGrasse Tyson all his stuff. Where do you think he got the water bubble in? I mean, he can't come up with that. The guy got no imagination.
Water bubble? You mean the hula hoop?
No, man, with the sun on one side, putting a bulge in there, and
when it just does a little, it just dances right through.
and now they're like pulling apart, and we're just basically spinning inside the oceans there, and yeah, that happened.
Yeah, Shane.
I like when he drops the mic and makes the sound man want to commit suicide.
In your steelmanning of the tides, you failed to include Neil deGrasse Tyson's steelman or custom interpretation of the tides.
That's what he says, man. We got the moon on one side, and it's making a bulge, just pulling it out a little bit, so our water goes out into space a little bit, and the other side, the sun's on that side, pulling it out.
Yeah.
We just
There's like a stationary globular water field, and the Earth rotates through it.
Yeah, it's cool, man. We're like I don't know what the hell that is, but I don't. The sun's, man, I tell you, this downward force of gravity does a lot of external pushing and pulling.
Yeah, well, I like talking about that tidal bulge hula hoop thing because it's not even real. So like when Neil deGrasse Tyson is explaining it, you would, if you didn't know any better, you'd think he was describing like a real life phenomena, and you're like, oh, what he didn't say was that that's only a part of tidal equilibrium theory, which is assuming a whole bunch of things that Isaac Newton created, right? And it's the gravitational forces explaining the tides completely, which is definitely not how it works. But to even go into it, to pretend in this pretend land, you have to pretend all of these things are the same. And it's like Earth only has one basin. There's no motion. All water responds instantaneously and uniformly to forces like gravitation. It has no predictive power. It has, no positions of the celestial bodies. And it's like, yeah, if all that's true, then the Earth hula hoops through a giant bulge of water as it oscillates back and forth in its orbit, as its gravitation is equal to its equilibrium theory in a wonderful unified force that doesn't affect either way. So like, oh, that is retarded. I get it.
Man, if mass attracts mass, how come these guys up in the ISS aren't clumped together all the time? How come they ain't got to push themselves?
Perpetually falling.
Away from me, man! Get away from me! How come that ain't happening? They just kind of float up there.
How come they all haven't become one person yet? It's a great question.
The super knot.
A super knot, dude. How badass would that be?
Apparently, it only works on long hair. I guess I don't know.
It only works on hairspray hair. Yeah, that's very, very poignant.
I'm still waiting to see the atomic clock up there, clicking away, doing that thing 9.3 billion times a second.
Tick, 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 tick.
I just 24 years later, guys, just still waiting. When are you gonna get that little atomic clock up there? So kind of a small rig, not a big thing, just fits in a little box. You can just toss in the corner of the spaceship when you're doing the whole big exploding the hydrogen doodad thing, getting up there 10 Gs.
Listen.
Yeah, you could just toss it in the corner. You'd still be going just as fast.
If we bring up additional things, how are we going to fit all the jerseys for the NFL so we can put on the winning Super Bowl team?
Yeah, the hats and all that stuff.
Actually, remember how that whole thing happened? And they were like, no, we didn't know beforehand. We sent them all up, and that's better.
That's better, dude.
Like, whoa, you guys backed up into that one.
It's like, are you guys always bitching about fuel cost or something? Fuel to weight ratio or something? You're like, have all these jerseys. You're like, dude, we have to account for a stowaway mice.
Dude, that happened because like they won the Super Bowl, and then right away there was a NASA thing, and they were like, hey, how did they get the shirts for the winter so quick, right? Like that just happened. And they were like, oh, well, orbit times and transits, and it definitely didn't just happen now. They had we sent one of everyone. That's how we did it. Yeah. Yep.
Well,
you guys fucked up.
You know how when you're traveling at relativistic speeds or what have you, you start to gain time or whatever, get that time displacement, that temporal displacement.
Oh, the twin paradox, sort of.
Yeah, maybe they were just ahead in the future and like saw the game and then put on the jerseys ahead of time.
Yeah, yep. Yeah, so they actually the retro causality.
But they are the best of the best, right? Just look at Pettit. Shining icon of the human species.
That's right.
Your intellectual superiority extreme, if I don't say so myself.
Hey, that guy knows a lot about cameras, though. He watch him talk about that what's his name? Smarter Every Day. Dustin or something like that. Go to his channel, and then he's done some collaboration videos with old Pettit. He's super knowledgeable about cameras and photography and stuff. Pretty interesting. When he's not talking about gaskets and shit and safety protocols, that dude's a camera wizard.
Therefore,
nice.
slob.
Well, it's good that he's not a complete retard, to be honest. I do feel a little bit better.
No, I mean, he still talks like, goofy and shit, but he's like off the cuff, like knows things.
Right. That's good. That's good. That's probably how he got his astronaut degree or whatever.
He knew a bunch of unrelated things about cameras and was like, yeah, that's how it works.
Yeah, we're going to put you in space, buddy. Dude, how do you elect him to be your PR guy? It's like, all right, so we fucked up, right? We had a disaster. We're going to tell everyone that it's okay. Jenny, can you get your retarded cousin Tom to go do it? Can you get him to give a speech? I think it'll take the edge off if we deliver it by him.
Are you able to give NDS Bear a microphone? I've tried to accept them, but it's glitching out, I think.
Why are people locked? Yeah, he's locked. He was locked.
That's just his.
Oh, your posts are protected. Okay. Whatever.
Oh, is it working? Can you guys hear me?
Yep. What up, G?
Oh, there he is. Oh, that's our boy from Discord. I remember. My bad.
Allegedly, yeah. I mean, you don't know that.
Dude,
but I wanted to talk about
in the Bear, bro.
the T-Rexes. So
Great acronym.
we looked at the pictures of how they made, and the T-Rexes, the male one, the penis would have to be where his belly button is, and the female T-Rex, the vagina would have to be like on her tail, basically.
Hey, we don't tell.
Yeah, it's a weird thing when you're like, so they urinate out the back and they can never see. So wait, how do they aim?
See,
Hold on a second.
here's the thing. I always thought that because these were all reptiles. I mean, I was always thinking they were laying eggs anyway, and then the male would just come over and do the whole fertilization after the fact type of deal.
Nah, you gotta fertilize before the fact.
Dude, only fish squirted after the fact, I think.
That's what I was imagining.
It's not a reptile. It's a fish thing, I think. I don't know, man.
Yeah, I think that's a sea snail thing or whatever. Seahorse. Seahorses do that. And caviar and shit. That's what caviar is. That's just a bunch of fish jizz. How crazy is that? People are like, oh, dude, caviar is just fucking fish stuff. Nice, dude.
You think about the T-Rex here trying to check out the Stegosaurus, man. That guy's got it the worse than the T-Rex. How's that guy getting down?
Yo, we got our boy Peter up here. Peter, our graticule datum boy who just likes to.
Let me tell you about this one experiment that I did, but it was actually my friend who did it, and I don't even know all the parameters for it, and I can't tell you any curvature. But what's up, Peter? How you doing?
Hey, what's up, Brian? What's new? What you been smoking?
Today I'm going with heroin with a little crack in it.
Ooh, candy flipping. That's my boy.
Stick to American spirit, man. Smoke organic.
What are you smoking? You still smoking them Spaceballs?
No, nothing, unfortunately. How are you guys doing with the ether cosmology? I've been spending some time on Discord with my flat Earth friends, and I think I'm cozying up to ether more and more, and also to the relative density idea.
Well,
so I've been building some bridges with the flat earthers there, and it's been going really well.
No, it's not true.
Ether has substance, man. What are you admitting that ether has substance?
Well, I've observed Peter repeat words like ether over and over again to a greater degree, and then he thinks this is building bridges. And he's like, look, guys, I just gave you a lesson on ether, but I just said ether a bunch of times. And he did use some like impressive word salad, like the toroidal orthographic geometry of the parabolic strip because now has the slit, and now it's actually, and it's just like, oh, that's real word salad. Congrats. Dude, that's good.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's a nice bridge.
I'm learning.
Can you spell ether?
Yeah.
Can you spell ether?
Yes.
This multiple choice.
Like if you had to write it down, you could do it. Just check, like Nick's asking for
also.
Nick. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
In a pinch.
So he says he can, but he don't.
You have to do it really quickly, like gun to your head, stressful situation. You could still do it. You think?
Also, yeah.
What is your ether?
Nice. Well, that's good, man. I'm glad you're out there. I'm glad you're out there, mending fences or what have you. That's cool, man.
Building bridges.
Mending fences, he said.
Don't forget to put a camber in your fridge.
Wait, is that not the same expression?
No, it's mending fences. Peter's full of it.
It is now, yeah. I mean, fuck it.
It's rocket.
Listen, you can mend a fence, you can build a bridge. Everything will end
But
in
if you're
friendship.
mending a fence is like building a wall between two people. I'm tearing down fences, man. I'm tearing down the walls. I'm building bridges.
But can you burn down a fence?
Dude, what is it that you're always You're like always got in a tornado or something, man.
Oh, me?
You?
What is background noise?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
that's
have
pretty
AC.
loud.
I'm sorry, I have AC running here. I'm gonna turn it off. How about
Speaking
now?
of
Better?
building bridges,
don't-
man,
don't
must
do
smell
that.
Orwellian.
Sit in sweat, dude. That's all.
Don't be turning off your AC. That's crazy, dude. It's 80% humidity.
No, don't listen to Shane, dude. The audio quality for the listener is top priority.
That's right.
Okay.
Or my,
Is it better now?
Yeah, it's
Seriously.
fine.
Serious
No,
question.
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
You know, I was on Discord, and Discord filters out background noise, so Twitter doesn't.
This
I
could
turn all
Chris.
that shit off.
sit there and sweat.
Crisp is actually awesome noise canceling.
So, guys, serious question, because I have no idea. What is Ether? Like, what is it?
Oh, cool you asked that, because I set up Flat GPT to give answers just like that, and I did ask it, what is Ether? And it came out with a great response. I'll put it up in the Jumbotron for you, man.
But what is it made of?
Unicorn farts.
What is air made of?
Well, why don't you tell us? You've been doing a bunch of research. Why don't you go ahead and drop some gravy for us, Mr. Peter?
What is made out of?
I actually don't know. I don't make any claims regarding the components of Ether. I just kind of know what its characteristics are as a medium, but I don't know what it's made of.
What are the characteristics?
We are.
So
in
what
the
would make you
same-
think
Yeah, we're in the
think we
same
got
boat,
some-
dog.
he thinks we got some secret info? We know
Well,
the.
it's okay. It's okay for you guys to say we don't know what Ether is made of. That's what I say.
We
want you to
do
tell
say that.
character.
Wait, if something is the primary substance, wouldn't asking what it's made of make it not the primary substance?
That's right. So it's okay to say it's a primary substance. Yeah.
What are the characteristics of a medium?
I think it allows things to propagate through it, such as waves.
It's interesting.
Like waves as in like disruptions of the medium, I guess, and maybe lets other things float through it also.
Well,
So
I
it's-
don't know much about the floating, but we can get into the measurements from Yuri Galev, where he makes predictions using equations that are, that govern hydrodynamics. So he's basically putting the ether as a turbulent flow, right? That's going east to west. And then when he has his interferometer parallel or perpendicular to that flow, he's able to, using the hydrodynamics, to discern from the wave bands, like when they're chaotic and when they're making a cohesive pattern. And from that, he was like able to discern kinematic properties, like the viscosity of it based off of turbulent and laminar flow through it when it's orientated with or against the flow. And then in addition to that, based off of the material shielding that was used in the interferometer, so like plastic, cardboard, etc., different dielectric materials or Fermi surfaces will yield different results in the wave bands when they're turned or whatever. Like they give different times for how long that they take to settle. So
what about the orthogonality to the medium? What did he say about that?
Yeah, well, I specifically covered that. I feel like you're trying to word salad, because when I said parallel or perpendicular to the flow, that was already covered, and now you're trying to say like
knows one of his words.
No,
So-
I'm asking the medium,
what?
not the flow.
It's you said when the device is orthogonal to the flow, right? And that's included in being
The
parallel or
medium.
perpendicular.
A medium. Okay, whatever. Who was that guy again?
Yuri Galev.
And what is his story?
What
about
what I just told you? What I was just telling you about.
No, who's the guy? Was he like at a university or NASA? What was he?
Definitely NASA.
What's his background? That's what I'm asking.
He's NASA's etheric specialist. I can't believe you don't know who that is.
I'm not sure. He was a physicist. I mean, I don't know, like what specific stuff you want. I can send you his background if you want.
Yuri Galev, 2 E's?
Galev. No, it's Galeaev.
Got Goliath.
Where's my?
Goliath Yuri Petrovich.
I've got a full workup on him somewhere.
Yeah, post that. I'm also posting.
Here it is. Research Night 01. Yuri Goliath review.
What? How do you say that other guy? Atu Soskowski? Atu Soskowski.
Zutovsky.
Him. Yeah, he's the other guy.
Where's the?
Oh, there's a NASA guy. Goliath. There we go.
Did you find the NASA etherologist?
Yeah.
The theoric specialist or whatever?
Goliath Yuri.
Oh yeah, is this it?
Oh my God! Why am I don't know, you guys.
Yeah, but Mickelson Morley disproved the ether, so.
Oh yeah, GG.
Right.
What did
Yeah,
he do?
no.
What was that? I missed that. What was that last part? Prove what?
That's just what they tell us, guys.
Or it's just like, I don't know, 10 seconds of silence.
Well, no, that's what nobody tells us, Peter. That's simply what Wikipedia first page says. Everyone else, the scientific community, the academia at large, even the Royal Society, disagrees vehemently. But people who look into it would know that, right?
Yeah, exactly. I think the Mickelson Morley just gave us additional insights into the characteristics of ether.
And how would it do that?
How so?
Made us realize how the ether behaves.
How so?
How so what? You know the answer.
You're the one. No, you're okay. Yeah, you're definitely trolling us.
That's all he does. Ether.
Peter's always trolling.
Yeah, absolutely.
Peter, you're making a claim that it helps us realize how the ether behaves. So how does the experiment help us realize how the ether behaves? That's your claim.
Well, he understood me. He just doesn't know.
I think it helps us understand that the speed of light is always constant through the ether.
That is what Mickelson Morley proves. Absolutely. Couldn't be further from the truth. I mean, wait, what'd you say?
I think you're making fun of me.
Only a little bit.
I liked my search
I'm
on Yuri Galev. It tried to sell me the first two hits were some dude named Yuri Galtsev. And then the next two hits were ether cosmology.
Dude, that is cool. Ether cosmology is not big enough to be swiped off Google yet, so we're actually on search results. Look at that.
It's not very reassuring that the only source on the guy is you guys.
That actually is very reassuring.
Yep.
Okay. I mean, the guy hasn't published much.
I mean, didn't we just tell you about him? So of course you researched him and found us. Doesn't that make you feel better?
He's got like 7 papers.
Oh, there's not a
Yeah,
bunch
it
of
make
people
me
in
feel
America
better.
citing him to refute relativity. That's weird.
The Ukrainian journal Space, Time, and Substance. That's he published in Space, Time, and Substance. Are you guys kidding me?
Have you read the journal?
You're not a fan?
Have you tried to publish
Oh.
something against mainstream conclusions?
To me, space time is the enemy of ether.
So
Some would say that this.
where do you publish at then?
Me?
Yeah,
On Twitter.
that's
Fair
where
enough.
That's where ether science belongs. Is on Twitter.
Yes, yes.
Oh,
Hey, Peter, what is space-time?
It's what Einstein made up.
No, that's a total avoidance of answering the question. What is space-time, Peter?
I don't know. I think it's a concept.
Again, totally not answering the question. You're really bad at this. What is space-time, Peter?
A mathematical concept.
Third X.
Getting better.
No, he's not. Don't encourage him. Don't enable him. If you can't you can't grapple the first term about relativity, what validity could you give it?
I don't know. I've been doing my own research on relativity.
Okay, so you were doing some research on relativity. How long did you spend on that? How much actual research on relativity did you did? Like a number of hours, perhaps? How much?
82 hours.
Okay, we'll round it. Let's say you did 100 hours or 80 even. We'll cut it
Thank
back
you.
and cut you some slack here. Well, let's say you did 80 hours. So you looked at what exactly for 80 hours about relativity?
Mostly the difference between space-time and ether.
No, I'm talking about the media that you took in, in terms of the information you were examining, studying, learning from. What form did all of that take for you?
Oh, okay. Some of it was in the form of reading of books, and some of it was in the form of watching YouTube videos.
And what percentage of each would you say that would be?
From the 82 hours, 22 hours reading and 60 hours listening to YouTube videos.
Okay. So 60 hours of videos on relativity.
Yeah.
And even after all of that study, you can't tell me what space-time is. Really?
I'm having doubts about space-time. I'm leaning towards
Again,
ether.
you're totally not answering the question. In fact, what you're doing is you're proving my assertion completely correct because you have not even begun to define it yet. After 60 hours of video, watching, paying attention, take notes, figure it out, can't tell me what space-time is?
I have some ideas.
Yeah, fifth attempt.
I don't think he's a real person, Stone, to be honest.
So far, Peter, you are not ranking above NPC. What throw me some kind
Is
of
that a
bone
good
here,
thing?
Peter. What is space-time? What is it? What
No,
is it, man?
NPCs are low, Peter.
I think it's an attempt at describing the ether.
How so?
I think it's an attempt at describing the medium through which all electromagnetic waves would propagate, as well as matter would propagate. That's, I think, what it is.
I'm sorry, I cannot give you any kind of passing grade with that as an answer after 60 hours of watching videos on relativity and learning about space-time and all those other cool terms they have. And that's the best you can offer me.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's Peter.
Talk in circles. He doesn't answer any questions. He can't back up anything he says. He can't even bring his own experiments. He can't even tell you that he brought somebody else's experiments, man. Can't even tell you what curvature is over distance.
Oh, that I can do.
I mean, yes, in meters. So
He's got a very specific set of skills, Nick Cage.
and I already know what he's
Yes.
going to give the radius of the Earth.
Measuring the curvature is my specialty.
But you have it.
The
You don't.
punchline. It's the punchline to every joke he tells.
Yeah. Once you get, I can do his stick better. How much you getting paid, Peter? I just want to know because I can do.
See, that's my typical question too, Nick. Totally, man.
Because I can do your shit better than you can, man. I don't even need diagrams or your pie chart. I got your shit down.
Do it right now for his paycheck. We'll fire him right now.
So what you got here? I have an observer height of 56 feet, and we're going to look at a building that's 224 feet high. 224 feet high. We're going to look at this over a 21-mile distance. How much curvature do you get?
6,371 kilometers.
Oh my God.
That's
They're
the
indistinguishable.
radius of Earth. That's not the actual curvature.
What a smoking calculation you got there, Peter.
It is.
It is.
Whenever you ask Peter for a math answer, he gives the radius in kilometers, just so you know.
And with the 56 feet observer height, you're looking at about 93 feet of curvature, obstructed view.
I don't think so.
An actual fact. So don't challenge me on my numbers, man.
You asked me about curvature, now you're talking about obstructed view. Those are different things.
Right next to you should save it, man. I do all the work for you. Why don't you just say, hey, man, I'm going to defer to Brian because he knows what he's talking about.
I always defer to you as far as drop and obstructed this and that. When you ask me about the curvature, I tell you what I measure.
Hitting 21 miles. And the distance is actually 21.2 miles, by the way. But
6,371 kilometers.
That's the overall radius of the Earth.
Telling you, man.
Knowing the radius is knowing the curvature, Brian. We've been over this for hours.
21 miles.
Brian, knowing a radius of a sphere is knowing the curvature.
Peter, we're talking about 21 miles, not 3,959.
Doesn't matter how many miles. The radius and the curvature are the same.
But isn't that assuming that it is a sphere?
What kind of curvature do you?
No, it's
games too,
it's
Peter.
determining. It's determining the sphere.
You're determining it's a sphere by saying that you have this curvature
That
and you have this curvature because it's a sphere?
That's what he does.
Yeah, he's not really trying.
No, we measure we measure the curvature and then we know it's a sphere.
You know it's a sphere when you're measuring the curvature?
Yeah, if you measured zero curvature, you'd know there's no sphere involved.
What about
that's called circular logic. So if you assume it's a sphere,
I don't assume.
How does scale factor into this, Peter?
If
Why
you
would you
assume it's a
accuse me of
sphere
something
to
this
get
ridiculous?
a curvature, and then that curvature is what tells you it's a sphere.
Yes.
That's circular logic.
Yes, that would be, and
It's
that would be ridiculous.
Yes.
That's ridiculous. Nobody does that.
How does scale factor into your measurements?
What do you mean?
Scale, man.
Okay, you just say scale, man. Okay, scale, dude.
And scale. So how does scale factor into your ability to measure this curvature?
Oh, yeah, you know, our instruments have limited precision, so.
Can you perceive any?
Oh, you better talk to Jesse about that, man. That guy can smoke out,
I have talked to him about it.
105 miles away, and he can get her down to the eighth of an inch, dude. So I don't know about imprecise. He's got a line right up there. You better consult with Jesse there.
I spent a few hours talking to him. I know him very well.
Dude, I really want to know how much you get paid, because I got to tell you, man, it doesn't take much to be to do what you do.
I can't tell you, Brian. It's under NDA.
And I just give me.
You don't qualify.
What is it? WeAreGlobies.com. What do I got to go to?
You don't qualify.
Globetogether.org. What's up?
Did you guys see what Ken just posted? This book?
No.
Oh my God, I've been reading through it and posting on it. I put it up in the Jumbo Jar. Ken, where have you been hiding this thing, dude? It's Cosmic Ether Research Gate. What is this? The dynamic ether of cosmic space. Literally goes through our whole position with illustrations, historicity, the same people we talk about. Yeah, dude. Look at this post, man.
Oh, that is Twilight
look at
Zone
this book.
action there, man.
Nice, dude. Let's talk about that for a little bit instead of what we were talking about before. Dude, that's what's up.
Like, I can't believe, Ken, when you've been sitting on this, dude, and it's not even a paper, it's a book, right, by James DeMille. Oh, dude. I never saw this before, but I'm just like rifling through it, and it's got so much gravy. Chapter 2 is called The Erasure of History into New Territory, Additional Evidence. Dude, it's so good. Literally goes over Mickelson, or like, just look at the table of contents, right? This is what got me in the beginning. It's like, part 1 is all the cosmic ether as theory and experimental confirmed fact. Cool. Part 2, The Empire Strikes Back, erasure, mystification, and falsification of history. Shit, you might as well call that one Jewish mysticism right on its face.
You need to send me that copy of that, man. That sounds pretty cool.
It's in
Sending it to
the
you
purple
now.
pill.
Rocking.
Thank you, Ken, for being awesome. And also, not thank you for holding out. So, kind of watch that.
Yeah.
We are angst-ridden.
I'll be
over this.
honest with you. I never checked to see if it was actually in the stuff that Alan has given me.
Yeah, which work is it?
It's James DeMeo.
Which one?
If you look in the
dynamic ether of cosmic space correcting a major error in modern science.
Oh yeah, we have that one.
I haven't.
Yeah,
read
I mean,
it.
yeah,
I didn't
you
know.
know, it's
I just
it's
assumed
available.
you had it. You haven't read it. It's only 40 pages, and it's fucking dynamite, dude.
Yeah, we do have it. I have not read it, and now I'm kicking myself because this is awesome.
Yeah, I did not have that. I only until I just added it. Nice.
Really?
This would be
You don't
cool
have
to
this
go
one?
over. Yeah, never seen it. Actually, I recognize the cover art, but beyond that, nothing.
Yeah, see, that's what it was. That's like I looked at it once and I never opened it. Is what I did. So that's
Yeah, dude, reading night, boys.
I was just gonna say that, dude. Reading night for sure.
Oh, dude.
The plot thickens.
Oh, it opens with that Einstein quote about how the
Yep.
you know, otherwise the whole relativity theory collapses like a house of cards to Robert Wilkin. That's what it opens with. That's awesome.
Nice.
It pretty much like Steelman's our position very, very well with illustrations, pictures, and like historically chronological order. It's pretty good.
Nice.
So thank you.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thanks, Ken. Shout out to
That's
you.
going in the Obsidian folder.
Right, dude, it's all about Gallup and everyone that we talk about constantly. People are like, those people are retarded and they made the wrong measurement consistently to the same degree of specificity for 800,000 measurements.
on the nanometer wave the spectrum. Like, okay.
Yeah, this book is 2019 too. That's pretty cool, man.
Oh, well, that must be newer than the one we have. Shit. Ours is.
But that new Demio drop,
2019.
my dude.
Dude,
Like we're collecting Pokemon cards.
Gale sidereal azimuthal determinations.
I got this one in December.
Ether wind velocity versus altitude, boys. That is the chapter.
Yeah, but orthogonal.
I just read the chapter that says the Oregon anti-nuclear radiation effect, and you just repeated his buzzword of orthogonal at the same time. Anti-nuclear radiation. What is that?
No mention of graticules, though. Oh, it's
A little bit sus. An ether paper doesn't mention the graticule. That's right. You can't really trust an etherist that doesn't know about graticules.
Damn, so you're saying I tripped up and knocked one out of the park?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be better if you didn't phrase it like that. We could have said it was on purpose.
Well, Toby apparently discovered it months ago.
That's right in the book. Ether. We now need to refer to ether as what is. It's called the primordial swerve. That's it right there, boys. Ether is the primordial swerve.
That's where you get life, man. It wasn't in no ooze.
I like it. Primordial swerve model.
Let's kick it.
Hey, dude, it's good to find new reading material that's like excellent. It's like, oh, this isn't dry, boring nonsense, mainstream regurgitated propaganda bullshit. Oh, it's interesting. And all the stuff that we talk about.
Dude, I'm excited to read it. I want to read it right now.
I'm already doing.
And Lele Hana has entered the room.
Madam Ambassador's here. Somebody get her a mic.
On it. Sending the security team now to pick her up. So I don't know if my invites work. So you might have to send somebody else.
The limo has got a flat tire.
So I'm saying is like you might have to call Hurst
Thanks,
or whatever,
Elon.
or Hertz, whatever it is. Call a Hurst. I don't know. Hertz.
Nice. Who else we got down here?
You know, if you're having problems up there, you can go up to the three dots up on the top there, and you can set it so people can join as a speaker.
Ooh,
yeah.
Little risky, dude.
It is very risky, especially with me up here. Dude. People hate me.
Some guy came into Sheepdog Space the other day and was full blown crying at Shane, like crying at Shane as an argument. Like,
Like
imagine
high-pitched squealing and
like
everything.
imagine, you know, have you ever heard of like, oh, Chinese torture or Chinese, what do they call it? What's the one where they drip water into your mouth until you die or whatever?
The water torture.
Yeah, Chinese water
Oh, you
torture
mean
or whatever.
waterboarding?
Waterboarding.
Yeah, but it's a little different. This dude was trying to waterboard Shane with his tears.
Oh man.
He was like, open your mouth so I can cry into it. And Shane was like, I'm very confused and hydrated. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with this argument.
Dude, I got some real haters too, man. I think they're funny.
Do you though?
Is that the one where they dripped it on the forehead and like they slowly drove them insane?
Yeah,
Dude,
it was something like
That's
that.
different. That's water torture. It's different.
Me as a
Chinese
kid,
water.
you know, he'd sit there, and as a kid, he'd sit there and pin my arms down and stuff, and just sit there with his foot right there on my forehead.
Nick.
Oh,
That's why I just
really
put up.
upset with you, Shane. He was just crying, like literally. Crying.
Yeah.
His argument was to shriek tears at me, essentially.
He was emotionally perturbed because he felt that Shane stole from Walter Bislin.
Yeah, so Shane makes a point, and then this guy goes, "Yeah, but have you considered that I have feelings too?"
Not even. He's like, have you considered Walter's feelings? I really want to be angry on behalf of Walter. And it's like, oh, dude, Walter didn't give a fuck or he'd be up here, right?
Oh, Walter, who made the model.
Walter Bislin.
Yeah.
Thanks, Walter.
Walter Bislin. Oh, you
Shout
guys
out
brought
to
up
Wally.
primordial soup. Can I change, or can I bring up something to talk about, or are we?
No, absolutely. Primordial soup away, my dude.
Yeah, do you guys know what abiogenesis is?
Nope.
Never heard of her.
So basically, it's the idea that, you know, that's how we got from primordial ooze to organic compounds. This is one of the currently floated theories, and essentially it's so there is some ooze, and lightning struck it, and then you have people. Is there a way? Is like a yeah, it's basically that. iHypocrite does a really good video on it, but yeah, it's basically lightning struck some organic material and infused it with the spark of life.
Dude, that is
Sounds like a
awesome.
Greek
Nice.
myth. I know it sounds like I'll link it in the Discord.
And then it feasted on a wolf's tit to stay alive or whatever, right? And it was two brothers. And then they founded a civilization that was in a perpetual war with each other. Is that the one, or is that a different one?
Yeah, and then Zeus became a swan.
Nice. Shout out to Aphrodite. That's one of my favorite Greek people.
Yeah, she's fun as well. So his thumbnail for the video is Frankenstein. I think that's pretty fitting. But yeah, it's called Abiogenesis. Abiogenesis. It's lightning struck, and that's how
Isn't that band with Phil Collins in it?
Oh, isn't that the whole the whole baseline for evolution or whatever?
Yeah, abiogenesis.
Oh, I thought it was called abiogenesis.
Yeah, it is. That's the name.
Okay, yeah, I've had
What was he
dude,
calling it?
something
Yeah, I
that
don't know how
wasn't
to pronounce
that
it. I pronounced it probably fine.
Genesis, like
Yeah, that one
like,
I have heard about. Yeah,
like from the Bible. Yeah,
we've heard
yeah.
Dave. What's his name? Not
Yeah.
Professor say that, dude.
yeah. Professor Dave and that other guy. What's his name? Anyway, they had a debate on abiogenesis, and dude crushed him. Professor Dave got crushed.
Dr. James Tour annihilated him.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's the guy.
And since we're talking about evolution, I'm going to put the complete accurate Steelman of evolution, courtesy of Mr. Garrison, and I'll put that in the Jumbotron.
Seriously, just
Yeah, that's a
think
good
for a nanosecond about lightning, and considering that the object we're talking about is the size of a cell or maybe smaller, do you know what happens to organic material that size when it gets hit by lightning? It instantly vaporizes into ash.
It doesn't gain sentience, though? Are you sure?
No,
Hold on, though.
yeah, it starts self-replicating and becoming
Absolute
a different
obliteration of heat.
organism, and then it gains sentience, like Shane said.
Can I make it a little more ridiculous? This theory of Abiogenesis or whatever it's called.
Abiogenesis.
Abiogenesis. So it says external forces may have triggered these reactions, and that's synthesizing inorganic compounds.
Is that like God but not God?
Radiation, atmospheric entries of micrometeorites, and implosions of bubbles. So that's how the ooze became.
Oh, alien ooze, lightning. Yeah, that equals
meteorite,
sentience. Yeah.
micrometeorites.
Next thing you know, you got the Flintstones going on.
Right? Instant
Yeah,
life.
think
You got
about-
primordial ooze. You got
Think
lightning.
about all the
boom.
lads that used to live with the dinosaurs on the first iteration before the Matrix got reset by the asteroid.
Evolution talk. That's pretty funny. Primordial ooze is a great topic. Dude, I love the people who are like, we definitely came from monkeys, but you guys are retarded. Like, oh, yeah, I love that position. Can we go through that? The missing link that so it's like monkeys are hybrids of humans? No. We evolved. Okay, well then why are there still monkeys? First of all, right? Nope.
So what you're saying here is you're not buying some magical amoeba just appeared out of nowhere, turned into a salamander, got bored, said I got to get out of this joint, flipped up on a shoreline and said, "Ah, crap! Now I got to evolve some lungs," and then turned into a frog, and then pumped a monkey, and then out popped a bunch of humans that said, "Hey, you know what? I got an itching to do is make me a hammer and chisel, go pound on the hardest thing possible and start making a bunch of stone buildings." You don't buy that?
Frankly, I recommend everybody watch that debate between Dave and Tour. It is fantastic. Dave does an excellent job repeatedly gaslighting the entire audience watching. He would look over periodically and look at the crowd in the second, third, fourth rows, these academicians stacked rows of people, and he would say, "You guys don't have any idea what he and I are talking about right now, do you?" Like half a dozen times he did that. It was absolutely outrageous.
That's funny because that happened in Ruhif and I today, and we moved on immediately for the benefit of the people instead of circle jerking each other for a perfect event. It's like, oh, is nobody listening? Great, let's get them.
Well, it's also really like that really illustrates who his typical audience is and who he's typically speaking to, right? Like if he was actually a quote professor and he was actually the type of person that was, typically debating high level discussions, then he wouldn't have that mindset. He only has that mindset because he's a viral YouTuber that, appeals to the lowest common denominator.
Yep. But personally, when I'm learning, I love to be talked down to and treated like a piece of shit. That's how I learn best. So,
Dude, I ain't gonna lie, man. That makes me learn out of spite, man. It just like what?
No, that's true. Spite learning is
Spite
very
learning is-
powerful.
Yep. Nothing will make you learn more than spite learning. Dude, I remember one time Toby spite learned electricity.
I'm telling
He was like, he goes, somebody made me uncomfortable with a question I couldn't answer, and now I'm going to learn everything about it.
Yep. That's how it happens, man. Spite learning is like from Twitter only, though. We've done so much good from spite learning from Twitter.
telling you. Stupid flirts. Go
Dude,
back.
the only reason Alan's here because someone's like, read a paper, Flurf, and he spite read like 700, and now we're here.
There's only one issue with this approach to learning, though.
You actually have to go out
Well, there's that.
That if I draw a conclusion that doesn't agree with the mainstream, it's wrong because of my poor education, and I'm not smart enough to truly understand the data, which will lead me to cause, to have misinterpretations of reality. Is that it?
And lose all your friends.
No.
I
Before
still
you know it,
I still haven't heard him spell ether yet, so but whatever.
I'm still working on that one.
He said he could do it.
He's still Googling. Hold on.
Out of spite, I will learn how to spell it.
That's pretty funny.
Nice.
Yeah, one possible outcome is, before you know it, you're a male in your mid-20s and you think the earth is flat. But other than that, nothing wrong with spite learning, guys.
Who's in their
Yeah.
mid-20s?
Oh, digging the gaslighting and the assumption above my age. I love it.
You're stupid, so you must be a teenager.
You do. You're at least 40. The guy in the tank top is in his mid-20s.
Guy in the
Wait.
tank.
Who?
You.
Someone he's trying to
I'm
do
36.
some kind of a
I think he's thinking
psychological
your
trick too. I don't know.
your headband is a shirt. I think.
I'm like personally
You're
really,
underdeveloped for 36.
dude. Nah, we're not doing that. Nah, get him out.
Yeah.
Underdeveloped. Yeah. Sorry to everybody.
It's
We're gonna
only
clean up the
'cause
mess here.
we don't have any real Globers. It's people we're in entertaining them. Although, I mean, do you guys want to talk to Globers?
I mean,
Honest ones, sure.
yeah, sure. Yeah, the ones
got
that are
any of
cool.
those?
Sure, people that, or I don't care if they're flat Earth or Glover. Just people that can have conversations and not divert into weird personal attacks
You don't like perpetual
or
fucking-
psychological tactics or like, but on the level of like a sixth grader girl.
Yep.
I'm over.
Well-
I gotta wrestle up some food. I'll be back in about 10 minutes.
Word.
Well, speaking of level, you know, level's a curve line, right?
I did
Oh,
know that.
yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I learned that. Fight the fat shirt told me that.
Yeah, Globers taught me that online on the internet when I started to argue with logic and common sense. I quickly learned, nope, that ain't it. That's not what
Well, you know,
told
the
me.
problem, Shane, with looking at stuff online is that you might get misled. See?
Yeah, I quickly realized I'm actually too stupid to read things on my own. I actually need an authority figure to tell me what that I read so that I can interpret it correctly.
So did you
and beratement of society is also very important.
Your room is super loud, bro.
Oh, mine? I'll mute.
did you did y'all did any of y'all download the books? One of them specifically. I know we've progressed way past that, but I figured it'd be handy to have. I tossed the entire training manual for survey in there, which is funny because that whole portion that they try to use is literally in that entire book the smallest paragraph that exists because it's a non sequitur. It's not used.
Who's speaking right now? He's
Eli.
not telling me.
Ooh, so you have to play Elon roulette and just guess. But I'll give you a hint. It's Eli.
Yeah, and no one can tell. No one can see who's speaking. That's the game on Twitter.
Yeah, actually,
It's
speaking of
just that
that,
my thing
I'm
isn't
gonna
updated,
leave
right?
and
It still says
rejoin.
Peter's a speaker.
It's even more fun when you can't tell who you're approving and accepting and muting. You know, you just kind of got to trust it.
See if you're able to take my co-host real quick, and then I'm gonna rejoin.
Do I have to take it? That's probably what you should do, huh? Because when I try to
Yeah.
leave with it, I just come back with it and it ruins it.
Right.
Didn't work on the computer. Let's try the phone.
Second time's a charm.
Dude, he got removed mid-sentence. That's how hard it worked. Did I did I block him forever? No, you're fine. And you're gonna come back, cool. Oh, the D3 popping in. No, you're fine. There's Alan back. So that worked. Dude, the phone works every time. I'm glad that I only have it for this. Launch a Twitter space on your phone, put it down, go on the computer. Does Nick have his hand up?
Do I have my hand up? No.
Yeah, whenever you ever put your hand up, just speak. Nick just speaks.
Now I was watching the official story on the theory of evolution, and I'm sold, man. Gave monkey fish frogs.
Oh, you're not echoing. Sorry, it was Discord. I can actually hear you now, and it was from that. So I muted on Discord, but stay on there just in case.
What?
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, I can hear you now on Twitter. Earlier, I couldn't. I had to listen through Discord.
Oh.
So I was saying you're echoing, but you actually weren't. It was me.
Gotcha. All right. So you deafened in Discord, and now Stone can hear me, and we're all good still.
Yep.
Dude, Twitter's lucky we're competent at handling Twitter hurdles so adamantly because they throw so many all the time. It's like, who can hear who? Doesn't matter. We're gonna multi-prong attack this bitch. So that worked. You're back. We're all good. Did someone say that we have to watch a not Professor Dave debate?
No. We should watch it.
Oh, the James Tour debate? I have kind of been wanting to watch that a little bit.
It was really good because the intro was very reminiscent to how you'll see like just a bunch of straw manning and poisoning the well and just craziness with no like substance or any science or anything from one side. And then your boy James Tour comes in hot, full of citations, full of attacking the argument, dismantling the sources, going through the sources, dismantling their like, dude, this dude was surgical with it. It came in, and basically what had happened is the abiogenesis argument, just like from what I remember, was that they had proved it in a lab that that these chemical compounds would spontaneously grow into a thing or whatever, right? But the thing is that the conditions that the baseline chemicals that they were using already had to be synthesized in a lab like prior to this. So it's just like they hand off these compounds to another lab, and then this other lab's like, oh look, we're independently introducing these compounds, and now blah blah. Dude, it's the most insane thing ever, right? So like, it's obviously not a real position that you could have once you can articulate that and expose it for what it is. And that's what James did. Just like, that's how easy it is to dismantle it. I don't even remember anything of the specifics other than it's already synthesized. They send it to another group, and then they pretend, and they're like, "Look, guys, when these together will become life." Shane, you're hot. And it's insane. So, let's see. Yeah. So anyway, he comes in hot, just debunks all that, exposing it for what it is, and then like Dave just had nothing, just more ad homs, getting them into the mud. And then he finally gets them to like talk about some personal drama dog shit that they had, which like detracted from the whole debate, and it was over at that point. But prior to that, like it's GG. If you ever want to like have a GG argument against evolution, it's all, you can just follow the sources that he gives in his intro, and that's it. And the whole argument is that they just lied and pretended, and then presented to the public as if you don't need you don't need a very significant creator to create all this. You can just have it from nothing. It's insane.
I didn't realize the whole thing was hinged on someone pretending to do it in a lab. They're like, look, we have these chemical compounds, and zap, see that? Now it's a human. Like,
yeah, dude, yeah, we got to get Taylor from, she usually comes on Flat Earth Friday. Talk to her about it, because she specialized in that or whatever.
Oh, yeah, biologist.
Yeah, and she was like, oh my God, this is retarded. So it's literally, it's insane. They just synthesize it, send those to a different lab, and they're like, oh look, when we introduce these to a system, they independently become bacteria or whatever it's like sick, dude.
That's how they have to validate the lightning theory of primordial ooze. My God.
Yep, it's disgusting. Yo, Lily, you're free to shoot whenever. You are Madam Ambassador Royale. I'm adding the Royale part at the end, seeing how it fits. Let me know if you like it or not.
You guys are so funny. I was going to say that, so much of what we were led to believe was just, bona fide, verified, proven science is just all conjecture and guesses. It's so ridiculous that they would, pass it off as real science. It's mind-boggling, and it's almost like sort of like intellectually criminal, really.
Intellectually criminal. That's going to the books.
Dude, that's a whole new court we should have. That's
yes.
Right.
Yes.
I want to see the hashtags, lads.
Hashtags will be had.
I like how all of it's reified, but the sad part is without COVID, I still would believe in gravity and nonsense in space and particles and all the stupid shit that we're making fun of today. I still would be wholeheartedly not giving a shit about any of that if they didn't try so hard with COVID.
Yeah, I think COVID was a turning point for a lot of people, huh?
They woke a lot of people up.
Yeah. That's when I got interested in flat Earth. Was just when COVID began in 2020. That's when I got interested in flat Earth.
It took me a whole year after that to get into flat Earth. I had to do truthing and figure out government and money and the doctors and medical systems and vaccines and viruses, exosomes, how terrain theory works. And then it was like, by that, it was like flat Earth. And they were like, you're a flat earther. And I was like, oh yeah, I don't give a shit. I've been called, white supremacist, racist, anti-Semite by this point. So flat earther was like, oh, you got me. I'll stop immediately.
Hello.
Hey.
Hi.
Greetings.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
It's a pleasure to get to talk with you guys. It's I've been wanting to join one of these spaces for a little while. I just want to say it really is something amazing when you guys find your way into someone who's, your stuff gets all over the place. People are reading us right now that we don't even think about. Guys at centers, guys at CERN. It's not a joke what we're doing.
Nice. No, that's how we met Robert Bennett, man. One of our sources was watching our stream. We were like, oh,
dude,
did you want to come and hang out with us? Or?
That was so cool, man.
That's amazing. Yeah. I'm in the sciences right now. I'm going on some, highfalutin track and whatnot. And I'm just tapping into the spirit, the Geist. I come from a background in chemistry. I did a math degree. I did chemistry. Now I'm in pharmacy school. And I can't really seem to make sense of that to anybody. But I came out of that and I'm like, dude, the kind of questioning reality you do when you see what it's like inside this medical system, the kind of questioning that you guys, it's like me every day. It's crazy. I want to make a specific point because I often find I join these spaces and people tell me that I talk too much or whatever if I have a question. So here's my question. Has it interested you guys that you spend more time talking actually about the scientific dialectic than any physical, empirical facts necessarily? Like, it might seem ridiculous, what you had your friend just come in and he was like, he doesn't know anything and you're just joshing him. But a lot of philosophy and math starts with guys who are just in this purely speculative thing and then just kind of bring it down and then it gets discussed, worked over. And it's I love your method. That's exactly what I've been trying to do, but alone. But have you guys noticed you spend more time talking about how people talk with each other than how things, let's say, so-called really work? When we've actually been talking about the way things really work all along. This mediation process and these arguments that we have with each other. So this is the late philosophy that kind of created this period that we're talking about, this of aether physics, comes out of a whole European philosophy movement thing first, and then materials were just used to justify, this it's 13759, all right, but that's society. It's not real, So we're kind of coming out of this philosophy period where people are talking about the inner discordances and harmonies between things. They're talking, it's romanticism. That's what I'm going to say. It's a period of romanticism that pretty much bred all the stuff that we're reading. And these guys talk about another way of doing science that's just pure conversation and pure thought instead of now, of course, it's important to go and do real things in the real world, but we can't. We're physically limited. So I'm reading, I remember, what's your first experience reading Einstein? It's I'm on a bus and people are moving differently than me. I've been trying to find just since I'm very busy now, I work at a pharmacy and whatnot. It's what is the initial disclosure that gets you treating this world? You know, is it like light wrapping around the moon? Is it like a laser beam? Or is it like a social interaction?
Where did you go, man? I lost you here.
I'm saying that people are like having social interactions. Those things actually inform scientific intuition. And then it just becomes a whole nother area that's talked about. But you know, this is a world of spirit and spiritual effort. You know, we can, like, can you imagine in a few years, all of us find our way in life and we literally build a lab? What would that be like? You know, of course we'll find something, you know, we have to, just, it's necessary, you know? So I found learning all this science, kind of repairing my brain after college, that like literally we're understanding by having conversations with each other all along. That's the way science should be done. What you guys allude to, you're very self-conscious about this. You have this this shared experience of like going to school with people and fuck with you guys. I'm sorry. I'm listening to the conversation. You know, I like to share a little bit more about what I've been doing, but I don't want to sound like arrogant and like I have my head up my ass, so I'll just stop talking.
Well, welcome to the space, man. I don't know if I've ever talked to you before.
It's a pleasure to meet you guys, man. I've been following you for a long time now. Just reading your stuff. I have huge stacks of papers. I mean, I actually read papers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We tend to do that for fun at night when no one's looking as well.
I like the thought of Melodome. You know, he's a bartender. He was sneaking on his phone and reading a PDF at work.
Dude, you remember that one time it was like 4 a.m. on a Saturday and Flatman came to like make fun of us and we were all three like reading a PDF or something and he was like, "What are you guys doing? You're not reading a PDF now. You're not even streaming." We were like, "Oh, yeah." Oh, you caught us, dude. We do it for fun. Sorry, man.
All right, I'm back.
It's awesome.
Welcome back.
It's good. That's a good thing. I thought I was the only person in this whole world that did it for fun. You know, life's crazy.
It's like, if you don't do it for fun, can you do it to save your life and that of your children? Like, what if you're going to inject your family with poison and what's saving you is reading a paragraph? Can you read that paragraph? Most people.
That's nuts to me because that's exactly what they
Can
accuse
you
us
read
of
that paragraph, dude? It's like
That's exactly what they accuse us of doing.
A game show,
They accuse
Boris.
us of doing that.
Can you read that paragraph?
No, you stupid conspiracy
They
theorist.
say that's what we're doing, and it's like, you know, dude, we're like, I'm just trying to have a conversation here. See what's real. Aren't you? Where are your colleagues? Where are your networks and letters?
The season premiere of Can You Read That Paragraph? The guy got said, the shot has never been tested. Oh, wait, did you just say donut? You said donut? wait, where do I get the sure, put it in my arm. Where's the donut? That was how the first episode ended. Dude, I don't think anyone ever read the paragraph.
That's literally what it's like to work with those people in real life. Like, you go to a serious, like, oh my God, this is a hospital. This is where they're supposed to be curing people, guys. And like, it's like that. It's like, wow, holy shit. That's nuts. You're just give me the donut, man?
They're not into cures. There's no money in that. They are into treatments. Pay attention. You have to pay close attention when you're in a hospital.
Oh, of course. It's all when you say Kabbalah.
Not cures.
That's very true.
But listen, we have our own Kabbalah too. That's what we're doing. You know, that's the best part of all of this. It's like, I could just walk into a forest and I'm going to find someone to talk to. You know, like, it could be, you know, we could have this process doesn't, you know, one person can do it. You know, I've been feeling like that. It's like a lot of us feel that way. A lot of us, like, in this world.
One person can have a conversation? Is that what you said?
Oh, one person can totally have a conversation with themselves.
And you say that one person can, like, spark an idea and then it sort of moves further.
Oh.
I think,
mean,
I
like,
think one person can go through all of the conceptual transitions on the way to a fully formed thing. So they can have an idea, they can also think conceptually, and then they can take those concepts back in and argue with them. So that's something that we could do in our heads.
so like,
That's metaphysics.
well, what if 3 people in different spots in the world all had the same idea at the same time? How would you explain that?
I think that, well, that's tapping into a world that's beyond our comprehension, quite frankly. I mean, we could say certain things about it, but it is mediation. It's like mediation itself. You know, it's like more math. You know, it's more math. It's more like some secret, you unwrap it like a present. You keep on going. It's kind of like you go through school.
I think you
It's
should
like that.
spend more time looking up the morphic field, MORPHIC.
Oh, listen, if you guys believe that, I believe it too. Believe me, I'm just skeptic. I'm just really skeptical. I'm just really skeptical because it's like it seems like every interpretation that they want us to have about it is false, and we only take up some variation of that. You know, I mean, this is what we're talking about. Like, we talk about these things, it's bigger than we can perceive. I mean, the fact that they can get any results at all plugging in imaginary number systems into these equations, and they produce something that actually exists. You know, now of course it's like, is it all fake? Are they just lying to us, or is there something real there? I'm kind I'm of the idealist camp for sure, and those things exist. Totally, we create it though. We're kind of in the mix with it. I mean, there's necessity, there's physical necessity. But when did we start having a conversation about all this science stuff, and we stopped having a conversation about this stuff?
When we started bringing about the ether.
Yeah, the ether. You know, it's like, you know, relativity, it's interesting because it's like, you talk about that clock experiment on the ISS. My understanding of this, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, because, you know, I've done enough math that no one's going to talk circles around me. I know what a tensor is. I've done written programs. Okay, whatever. Like, the theory actually makes it impossible to test itself. It's like an untestable theory. It's unfalsifiable.
It's covariant with everything, of course. Yeah, of course. It's backwards
What I don't
compatible,
understand about
retrocausality.
this, I don't understand about this issue is like, if it is possible, even within the, like, let's say, Einsteinian world frame. When I talk about this, when I say world frame, and you're looking for definitions, what I mean is like Einstein's sitting on, like, you know, his whole background, and he's sitting on a bus, and he's having these disclosures, like, you know, and he's mathematizing that. And yeah, there's some aspect of it that's true, because you're here experiencing it. You had to get there in cognition first. Like, when you talk about these scientific.
No, we lost you, buddy.
Got me in Houston.
We all like tensors, man. Everyone likes tensors. Come on.
Got tensed up around here.
I think is he referring or alluding to modern day theoretical physics? Is that what it is?
Sort of. I'm saying that some of that has to be real, because, like, if people didn't get their love from somewhere, they'd surely die. You know, that sounds fucked up, right? No, like, people have to be finding something.
What?
Maybe it's the Akashic records you're reaching to.
Oh, totally. You get into that stuff, dude, for sure. But like, to answer your question, multiple people around the world having the same idea at the same time, it's because it's not just in our heads. Duh, right? So yeah, you get into a morphic field. But the morphic field is just an example that exhausts nothing.
Can someone explain the morphic field to me like I'm like 15 or 5?
Okay, so if you look at light
100 monkey theory
diffracting around the moon, that's actually
not that.
You look at light diffracting around the moon, and you see those movements. Okay, and I totally believe that medieval astronomers had access
to
those kind of images.
Is it like the monkey ladder thing where, like,
Yes.
a monkey it's the monkey ladder thing? That's it?
Yes, right.
Okay.
Where I think Stone explained it to us last week, when a monkey on an island starts cleaning off his food, and then the monkey, like, on a different island with no contact would start doing the same behavior after a certain threshold. And that's
It makes no sense with interconnected particles in quantum mechanics, instantaneous action at a distance with no interconnection. But
They argued
it would
about
make
this for hundreds
sense
of years. They
with an
never
etheric
solved
background
this.
in a field, right? So that would make sense if it's already connected. That way, when so that little monkey had the idea, it sent out a perturbation, so to speak, of whatever thought in Morphic field, and then other monkeys would have been able to hear it, right?
Yeah,
Oh my
and then
God.
they did like the monkey ladder. Joe the Toe would say that is mushrooms, man. You know the stoned
Oh
ape.
yeah, of course. They love that one
He
now.
explains it. I don't like
Yeah,
that.
it's a lot of
They loved
background
it. They love
noise.
that one
Can
now.
somebody mute up? It's a lot of background noise. Can somebody mute up while they're talking, please?
I'm sorry.
Oh, that is much better. Rusty,
Oh,
welcome.
it's that I'm outside. I am sorry. I am outside under the moon.
You're about to have special guest Mister is going to come on.
Ooh, he better make
you just got off
7 intellectual comments that will stimulate and invigorate me.
Stimulate and invigorate.
You're a
How much-
scientist. You're just describing it as it's happening to you. You're writing it down.
How much more pressure can I put on him to perform? Let's see.
Hey, I learned something new today. If it's intellectual, I guess you guys can decide. But I learned that so about these solar simulators, some are very little in labs, some are just ground based, and some are atmospheric, kind of similar to the James Webb Telescope. But anyway, that's beside the point. Let me let you know that this is pretty cool. That they are emulating from the nanometer to centimeter and up, scaling up, scalable results that they can reproduce the exact wavelength and iridescence of our real sun. How about that? Depending on what they need it for in their work area or work.
Wow.
That is interesting.
Yeah,
Can you
pretty
send
cool.
me the stuff on that? I'm interested in
Absolutely.
the wavelength reproduction because that was something that like people have been talking about the Antarctic thing, and they were like, "Hey, there could solar simulate." And I was thinking about the wavelength stuff. That'd be super interesting to check out.
I think they're doing that with some
Yeah, I'll drop it in the purple pill.
Where are you putting that?
Oh, it's
I'm not sure if you heard me, but I'll drop it in the purple pill.
So, yeah, on Twitter, if you look in the space on the right, there's that little chat bubble thing. If you click that, that'll bring to the post, and beneath the post, you can add comments and people throw that. That's called the purple pill. There's also the nest and/or whatever the else we call it, which is like the big thing up top, the jumbotron, and you can share any post there if you're a speaker by going to hit share and then hit share to space.
Got it. I'm kind of learning this thing.
Yeah, I figured. That's why I gave you the walkthrough. I was like, that comment thing is probably where you put it. So if you click that comment bubble, that'll bring you to all the posts people put there.
So you click the comment bubble and you scroll all the way. Do I have to refresh it?
No, but you also could have put it up in the jumbotron. Where'd you put it, man? I don't see it. Where'd you say you put it, man?
Hey, brother, I'm just now getting the link right, and I'm gonna drop it in the purple pill.
Okay.
And it's also a website, so it'll it's a whole group of what they do, specialties as a company. But this is only one company of many. But this is the most informative I could find on wavelengths and all that. So
nice.
That's so cool.
If they make this fake sun, it's probably like, if it does exist, it's probably like super duper local, huh? Because I can't imagine it having the bandwidth that the real sun has, right? It's not going to light up like 6,000, 8,000 miles of land.
No, but it would probably look like the same angular size type thing, and then like in that local area, you would just see it.
yeah, and you're right, Leliana. It's not that big yet, but what is very well spoken of, and very specifically, that this technology is scalable. So I put it already in there. y'all want to check that. I'd like to see it on Jumbo because I've never seen something of mine like put up there and went over in detail with especially Shane and Alan and Toby and all the, globe retards. I mean, regular people that want to learn.
Hey, yo, Shane, real quick, can you remove co-host real quick? I'm going to rejoin. Twitter bugged out and the whole interface is gone, but somehow I can still hear everyone, so that's cool.
Yeah, me too, actually. It just happened to me at the same time, dude.
Oh, awesome.
Oh, I removed him. Damn. Like, I lost my whole chat on my desktop. Does that happen to anyone else or just...
All right, 1 second. Having some technical difficulties, boys. Going to give it a second. All right, I think it's been 1 second, right?
You're better.
whole new thing and fix this, to be honest.
Yeah, my
Yo.
start listening button's grayed out. Let me refresh it again.
Yeah, every time I join, it automatically closes it again, makes it disappear on any browser I use.
Yeah, me too. I just noticed.
Yeah. Dang. We were having too much
Alan,
fun.
can you hear Toby?
No, I'm not even on. I'm on Discord, bro.
All right, Alan's gone, Toby.
yeah, I can't even get on.
Looks like we got to restart it.
Yeah, Toby?
Yeah, I refresh the page and then I try and join again. I hit start listening and I pop up as the only one in the space and then it immediately crashes.
So this is super bugged. Why don't we do this? Why don't we end Twitter Spaces, but everyone come over to Discord? Hey, all the people on Twitter come over to Discord and hang out and have real conversations.
That's the way to do it. So post one on your own tweet there, Shane, about a link to find us.
Yeah, do that. I'll retweet it. I want to go to the main channel. Yo, we're going to, oh, you're probably already heard it, but we're going to regroup on Discord.
Yeah, I got kicked out of the space, so I just joined on.
Yeah, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's my least favorite part of Twitter, man. When the spaces aren't working, dude, it's like a total bust. It just sucks. Well, all right. While you get settled in, I'm going to go AFK for a second. All right, lads. While I'm AFK, I'm going to play some Toby in the background here. Little Toby original.
Hey, everyone's loading in. Hello, hello.
Man, that was super gay.
Yeah, I was lame.
That was the worst.
Yeah, the Twitter space just disappeared for me, and then I couldn't like read.
Yeah, no, it disappeared for everyone, and nobody could rejoin. Turns out that happened for everyone all at once. Well, that was cool.
Oh, so can I ask the morphic field thing? You said that's like the 100 monkeys thing, which is like the monkey ladder thing, which is like the stoned ape thing, which is like the the old collective consciousness thing. Is that all the same like sort of idea?
I only recognize two of those things.
You know the stoned ape hypothesis is?
No, stoned ape.
Yeah, it's really dumb. So it's like mushrooms share thoughts via vibrations, and monkeys eat mushrooms. So these mushrooms share thoughts, and these monkeys are eating them. And it's a theory on how monkeys evolved into, we have is like human reasoning and consciousness.
So that is actually a Terrence. Sorry, can I speak to that?
Yeah.
Yep.
That's a Terrence McKenna psyop picked up by Joe Rogan and his brother Dennis McKenna.
Yeah.
And if you do a little bit of research about Dennis or Terrence McKenna, he was actually like busted at some point and either infiltrated by the FBI or CIA, according to some research done by Rachel Wilson, to promote. If you look at the whole hippie movement and Timothy Leary, Grateful Dead, Charles Manson, all these acid pushers, all of the whole idea was to push this like goddess worship, to push feminism, to push evolution, this stoned ape theory that we came from monkeys and they ate mushrooms and they evolved into us, blah, 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 which doesn't really have anything to do with the 100th monkey effect, which you're talking about, which could possibly be also another like disinformation ploy to try and, but the idea was that
We lost you.
You accidentally clicked mute, bud.
Or maybe.
No, someone tried to call me. Sorry.
Yeah, I figured that. I figured he got a call or his kid was telling something
Yeah.
like.
But like when you look into the whole hippie movement and everything and all that acid pushing, it looks like it's a counterculture push, but in reality,
She called right back.
Is in demand.
She called right back.
yeah, I know. It has to do with recovery I'm involved in, but she can wait. But the whole thing is they push this counterculture narrative, but in reality, you're too fried out of your mind to actually be of any use or make any real lasting change, you know? And so it's all kind of just this psyop. And then if you look into like even going into grunge music, they're pushing heroin and pain pills and antidepressants.
Yeah, and
It's
they
like,
try to
dude,
make it look organic, but it's completely
right,
inorganic. It's manufactured. There's I forgot the documentary and book. I think it's called Some Strange Things Happened Along the Way at Laurel Canyon. It's about how like Jim
Yeah.
Morrison's dad was like a really high up Navy.
Yeah, dude, Dave Grohl's dad was a speechwriter for Ronald Reagan, and two of
Yeah.
his band members just happened to die. One of them happened to be wearing a "Fuck the Grateful Dead" shirt, and they
Jack
kill him, you
Black's
know,
mom
like,
did the math at NASA for the moon landing.
dude, right, exactly. Both of his parents worked for NASA,
Yeah.
you know, and then they make it sound like they were these poor kids that moved to Venice and had to pay the rent, right? Like, it's all just a psychological operation, really. And it's, you know, even hip hop music, it's like the people that funded the record companies for gangster rap also funded a lot of the private prisons. One of those people being Shaquille O'Neal, who likes to give poor black kids shoes. You know, it's just like, it's so, yeah, dude, it's out there, you know. More
Yeah, I
research you
don't.
do.
I was saying it's stupid. I think the stoned ape hypothesis is stupid, and I think a lot of times they'll take something truthful and then hijack it and throw some like bullshit in. So like collective consciousness, or sometimes they do like the stupid stoned ape thing, and then you got I just learned about this morphic field thing tonight, but I've known about the like monkey ladder, 100 monkey thing before, but it all sounds pretty similar to me. I
Yeah.
don't know a meaningful difference.
What's monkey ladder? Did I miss that explanation?
Okay, so
Yeah,
the monkey ladder was an alleged experiment where they put 10 monkeys in a room, and one monkey goes on top of a ladder to get like some type of candy or something, favorable, sweet, and it gets shocked. And then 9 monkeys see it get shocked, so they know not to touch.
Oh yeah, I remember that one. Okay.
You don't get that? Yeah.
Oh yeah. That is kind of related. No, not really. That's just a different thing about monkeys.
Well, yeah, that's like they sort of communicate,
The
but
morphic field thing is like over a great distance, they seem to share ideas, I guess the best way to put it.
kind of explains the pyramids.
Doesn't that just confirm monkeys have eyes and go, oh shit?
Oh, well, Nicholas, what happens is, so like the original 10 monkeys, they're no longer in the room, but they still have this notion that at the top of the ladder, it's bad, don't touch it, even if they remove the shocking mechanism. But they don't, obviously, monkeys don't have complex communication skills. So like, if 9 monkeys see the first monkey get shocked, and then you remove the first monkey and remove 5 of the original 10, and you leave 5 of the original 10, and then eventually, if you remove all of the original 10, they still don't go up that ladder. And I think there was someone who debunked it, but the idea is the same.
That's just a learned behavior, isn't it?
Yeah, that just
Yeah, but how
seems
do they
like
communicate
if you
it?
left some monkeys in there that saw him get shocked, they'd be like, yo, bad, no.
But they kept bringing in one monkey who didn't see the other monkeys get shot, and the one monkey would immediately go up the ramp, and the other monkeys would be like, "Shut the fuck up, go up." They was like,
Yeah,
"What?
I don't know
I'm
why
hungry."
it's wrong, but I know it's wrong.
Yeah.
Some FTFE shit.
I heard it different. I was told that they put monkeys in a cage, like 10 monkeys in there, and they would like hang some type of fruit or something that one of them would want, and when they go to get it, they would spray all the other monkeys, and so those monkeys learned that if one of them tried to go up there and get the fruit, that they would get sprayed. So if any of them tried, they would stop them. And they removed some of the monkeys and put in new monkeys. And those monkeys taught the new monkeys not to go up there and get that fruit. If they started to go up there, they would attack them. And eventually they removed all the monkeys that were originally there that knew why, and had nothing but new monkeys that didn't know why you don't climb up there to get it. They'd never been sprayed, but they would all attack any new monkey that would try to go up there and get the fruit.
You're so right. That's
Oh.
exactly what it was. I completely bastardized it, and yeah, I'm sorry about that, guys.
Was it spray or electric shock? I don't know why it makes a difference, but it does.
Well, the difference is that the rest of the monkeys got punished, not the monkey going up to get. He's right.
Yeah, yeah. But were they getting sprayed
Some
with
form of
water, or were they getting
punishment.
electrically shocked?
No. They were being sprayed with water.
Oh,
Ice cold water from a hose. I just looked it up.
all right. Well, that's a little bit better.
Yeah, I'm sorry for messing that one up. But this is new to me, the morphic field idea. It kind of gives credence to how multiple cultures from across the plane have pyramids.
Maybe it's more like, you know how people who have like great ideas, they're like, oh, it didn't come from me, or it just kind of like occurred all at once, or like Tesla says, like they just came to him or passed down from some place, kind of like that. So then there's like a collective consciousness of ideas that you can tap into. I don't know. I don't know if I believe that.
There's some similarities that all cultures seem to share. It seems like every culture wants to have faith in something.
Well, I mean, how far did you go back into the Tartaria thing, with the unified culture with the star forts and crazy buildings with uniform cathedral style Gothic that isn't really Gothic, that's present on every continent but buried between like up to the first floor. But
Yeah, I've seen a lot of that stuff, and
yeah,
the bulbous things, which they think are like energy.
maybe.
Yeah, I don't really understand the Tartarian stuff because I've heard like 5 different versions of it.
Yeah, I just think it's a big smoke screen. I did it for like 3 months straight, just streaming about Tartaria, and then never found anything out that I didn't know, and just had a whole bunch of random interconnected things that seemed loosely connected. But I think it's just a smoke screen to hide where they put the globe, because that's where the globe came in. That's where all the maps got changed. That's where everything disappeared. That's where people from the 1800s started writing their books about how the Earth was flat and how science was trying to trick them. And then in the 1920s and 30s, they still had schools teaching flat Earth and globe Earth side by side. So after that, and then World War II is
Yeah.
when it really got stamped out and pretended that it didn't happen. And they infected the generation so that 2 generations after that, nobody knew anything.
I
So
would have thought when you bring like a bunch of professional propagandists over that.
yeah, right.
Propaganda.
Dude, I think our great grandparents knew the Earth was flat, and that everyone before them knew, and that it's only been this 3 generations of retardation.
Oh, my
Sexual.
grandfather knew. He told me the moon landing was the fakest shit. He had a chest full of old newspaper clippings. Actually, I could get to that chest. It's in a shed down the street in a house we rent out, and it's like old newspaper clippings of all his conspiracy theories.
Imagine a time where conspiracies are printed in the newspaper. Man. Do you guys know we landed on Mars? I'm reading the chat.
Do you guys know we landed on Mars? Is that it?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, we did.
Where's the main chat?
Yeah. I think you can tell that it's real how excited everyone is when they hug. Like when they hug, you know that they really did it, right? There's no one who's faking a hug on TV, dude.
Yeah, the Mars stuff is super sus.
It's like, hey, how
aren't they
does
struggling to get a rover on the moon? ATM?
Yeah, no, but you can just, even though you can't get Wi-Fi when you're in the bathroom, what happens is you can pilot a drone on Mars from a bajillion miles away with instantaneous reaction time and not even miss a beat.
Yeah. And then there's the rad on Mars too. That was cool. That was a cool thing. Yeah, I saw the Devon Island stuff. There's so many went there.
Yeah, I like how Mars looks just like it, though.
Hey, so because I missed like the first 2 hours because I was dealing with work, I'm gonna need someone to just give me the whole rundown right now so I can get caught up.
You mean steel man it or whatever?
Yeah, yeah. No, I did hear a little bit about the sun, and I wanted to say I got my hands on a magnifying glass because have you guys seen the magnifying glass video of the dude trying to burn a white piece of paper with a magnifying glass and it will not burn, and then he takes a colored marker and he colors it, and then all of a sudden it lights on fire?
What?
Yeah, so apparently the sun now, you cannot burn just a regular white piece. I was going to try it because I wanted to find out, so I got a
The
magnifying glass.
sun now? Like they changed the sun? Is that the argument?
Yeah, so like so you know, you used to be able to go out and burn paper and burn all kinds of stuff, and he says a white sheet of paper, he's got a video of it. I saw it on Twitter this morning, and he goes out and he puts the magnifying glass on the white paper and he sits there and it does not burn, and then he colors a little part of it and all of a sudden it ignites right up. And so it's
Yeah, I saw
very
it. I'll see if I can find it for you. I did see that.
very wild.
So
But I
that
want to
would-
do it. Huh.
Whatever's up there, our sun.
So that would imply that what the sun's a wavelength change, and that when you focus its light, its heat actually doesn't conduct it away to ignite until it's a different color. Is that like the blue things in the views from space or whatever? The blue color.
I think that it's becoming. I think it's becoming more of a white iridescent rather than a yellow like radiant.
It looks like a
No.
light up there now.
I saw that same thing, but I kept thinking about it. Well, you know, why is this, you know, even a topic? Why would somebody think of it? But I mean, basically, from what I understand of light, if something appears white, it's because all the light is reflected back to you. And if something's black, it's because it absorbs all the light. So it seems to me like if you have something that is white, and that's like copy paper machine that's like ultra white. So wouldn't it reflect enough light that it wouldn't heat up?
I don't know. I feel like I remember as a kid burning paper and like.
Yeah, I used to burn all kinds of stuff with it.
All right.
Yeah.
Did you burn it with the sun on the horizon or with the sun right overhead?
Oh,
I,
right
I
overhead,
pulled
dog.
up the video.
So when it's overhead, it's white, and when it's on the horizon, it's yellow. As far as
If you guys want to look at the video, it's like a minute long. I pulled it up on my stream. This is the video he's referencing. I think this is it. It's called the fake sun test.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
the
that's
one
an
I saw.
optical effect, and it has to do with the propagation across the spectrum. That you understand that the Roy G. Biv scale is low to high in terms of frequency, wavelength getting shorter as wavelength frequency goes up. You know what I mean? So when it's overhead, all of the spectrum is getting to you. Everything that's coming from the sun is I guess almost all getting to you, minus what's, you know, ionizing above you, causing daylight as well. Now, as the sun exactly moves towards the horizon, there's denser air between you and it. More absorption is taking place, and that absorption takes the ultraviolet and the blue and the higher wavelength are actually higher energy components of the spectrum that's hitting you from the sun, and they are more readily, more immediately absorbed by the thicker atmosphere, leaving only the red end of the spectrum actually getting to you, if that makes any sense.
Yep. Makes sense to me. It makes perfect sense.
Let's see.
But I've never seen this video.
If anyone else wants to join my stream, and
I will watch this minute video.
it's a minute. Yeah, it's not that bad. I've set 8 people. I'm starting.
Okay, white paper will not burn with today's sunshine.
Yeah, he's not trying very hard right off the bat.
Tried it with toilet paper, paper towels.
Well, you see that he sits there for a minute, and as soon as he colors it red, then
you got to get
the
the light really small.
Yeah, well, he does this. You'll see. He just does the same thing.
Well, I would have
with
liked
the-
if you got a different sheet of the same paper and then done it, because we don't know this isn't like ready to burn, but
Well, the light right now, the wavelength is going to be different.
Yeah, he focused it way finer.
Yeah, it's way smaller.
Yeah, he just punked.
That's why I.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it is
that's why I
way
was saying I was
smaller.
gonna give it a shot. So I was gonna
Also, aren't
try
these
it.
aren't these ethanol-based markers? These are like alcohol, right? So this also makes sense.
Maybe.
He makes it
Maybe.
more focused, and that stuff burns.
Coated with ethanol. I mean, yeah, it's
Yeah. All right. So that.
theoretically sound.
All right. He tried it with toilet paper though. But
Yeah.
it does look like he pulled it away much further.
What I,
mean, I
find
don't know.
interesting is that we see the inverse of that effect when it comes to cloud cover. That in an overhead situation, so it's noon and a bunch of clouds roll in, they tell you you still need your sunscreen, but it's not hot anymore because the cloud is there blocking the lower end of the spectrum. Isn't that interesting? That when it's overhead,
Yeah, I've
the
heard
UV
that.
still cuts through. It's neat. I bet there's a threshold there. You know, I mean, it's probably not an absolute thing. I don't think because the sun is overhead, all of the higher wavelength stuff just cuts through the cloud. I don't think it's that. But it's weird how that's kind of an inverse effect with the same medium.
Yeah, I've never encountered because I don't use sunscreen. I kind of think it's poison, but I also don't get sunburnt.
You don't like aluminum?
I don't like aluminum. Yeah,
You
I
need
also,
zinc in your diet. It's vital. It's an important vitamin, zinc.
I think zinc's good.
Now, I
Zinc's good,
wanted
right?
to mention something here because you're talking about light coming through the atmosphere. And before we were attacked on the Twitter space, I wanted to mention, one of you had mentioned, I don't know if he's still here, but you had mentioned they're able to just completely simulate colors of light coming from the sun or something along these lines. And there's this Australian climate scientist who posts on Twitter. I think I have to find him for you guys. But he actually talks about his lab did like molecular orbital theory on carbon dioxide molecules to see if the greenhouse effect is like simulatable computationally in some sense from the quantum mechanics directly. And, he found no positive results, negative results, actually. It's very interesting.
People like that need to do an actual hard figure correlation between sun activity, and there's a cycle to it, and relate those two. I think you'll get an entirely different set of curves.
Yes. So, when light comes into the atmosphere, it's also getting absorbed and reflected back. So it's also mixed light. And also all the energy that's coming from the sun is not just, photon light, they say. So you get into this other kind of like mystical particle physics. There's other things carrying momentum or energy that can interact with regular matter. How much do you guys believe in the existence of this stuff they're saying that they're finding coming out of particle colliders and they're just like interpreting it? I think that's some of the most secretive science of our modern age is like particle physics. They're like so opaque about that.
I could say my
I
speculations
attack that
about
question.
things.
I attack that question from a totally different angle, I guess sociologically speaking, in terms of the race and us spending tens of billions of dollars to build cyclotrons and create collisions. Okay, great. Now the question where I come from here is so fucking what? Like, what about what they're doing there is benefiting humanity in a ubiquitous way? An answer, of course, I'm sure you know what it is.
Oh, I know the answer. So random genital smashing is what created human consciousness. So random atom smashing is gonna be good.
Next step of evolution. I like it.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's amazing. I really think things like that are playing out 100%.
So I didn't mean to troll your answer. I was just saying that I also don't. I think
No. There are no troll answers in here. There's no troll answers
No,
in
I
this.
could
How
hear the
far are you-
sarcasm. I appreciate it. It's just I'm just not happy about having to ask the question in the first place. That those people are just an embarrassment.
I think they're a bunch of
Convention
fucking
after convention
weirdos.
after convention of just fucking echo chambers of dumbass particles physicists. These nerds all sitting around and talking about what they can do with a photon next. I just, my God, take these people and apply them to some real beneficial acts of ingenuity on behalf of the race and see what changes about existence.
And
I don't
the
think
thing
you
about
think you
the
want
weird
them
is
to win
they're a
that. They don't
bunch of
believe in that.
fucking weirdos. They have this
Oh, yeah.
massive Shiva statue. They do the dance of Shiva. They have this like massive spectacle, like when they're gonna start the Large Hadron Particle Collider. They're weirdos. They're just weird people.
Hey, when I
But you
was
guys
young
are
and stupid,
You made that parallel. I have to bring up what I heard that guy say on Bro Sanchez that one time. Well, just
Nice.
look at that hadron collider. It's the hard-on collider. It's the hard-on collider. It's a sex tool. Seems like sex magic to
no,
me,
come
maybe.
on, man. When I
It's
was
true.
young and stupid and rocking on stage and living the life, I was into the let's rock with the devil, We didn't ever know what that meant. You know what I mean? And that's exactly the same level of awareness that's going on at CERN.
Yes. I think what you guys, that little story that you guys gave, it's an amazing story of kind of like the flat earth disappearing in history. It's like, I think that happened in like modern science is created by that process. It happened everywhere at the same time in every field, every discipline, every college. You, from a sociological perspective, it's like these things are being brooded over in the midst of like war, And
Yeah,
it's like molecular orbital theory.
It started with like propagandists from Germany. We took them all in, and you have like those four hyper weirdos: Jack Parsons, L. Ron Hubbard, Walt Disney, and Werner von Braun, and they were all Satanists, and they wanted to create like a new religion of scientism. It's a very weird thing.
Yeah, Madison Avenue. Yeah.
I'm genuinely curious now because I get that there's plenty of people who go to shows and they have no idea, AC/DC's up there, he's talking about, I'm gonna take you to hell, and the whole crowd starts cheering, right? I understand that. But at the same time, I've had plenty of conversations with people who are, just because of what I research anyways, people who are Luciferians. Okay, I've had some very pointed and direct conversations with people who are Luciferians. So you have on one hand, you have the ignorant masses who don't give
That's
any
your
thought to
level.
what
Yeah.
you're talking about.
That's
But you
amazing.
have Luciferians who are well aware of the magic that's at play. And so I just have to question if you really think that the people at CERN are completely unaware, because I don't think they're unaware. Maybe some
I
of the
think those
students,
people-
because they use a lot of students, but
I think
government
those four
hires.
people you listed should like form a band like the Monkees, except they should call it the Undone and just like do a world fucking tour. That would have been an awesome thing to see.
Well, I don't think
did.
that like Jimmy
War.
Page was huge. All of Led Zeppelin, they were huge into Aleister Crowley, right? Jimmy Page paid like so much money to buy Aleister Crowley's home, and then they did, the subliminal backmasking and a lot of music. I don't think he was unaware of. I think he was very big on Satan. I think he was a big Luciferian.
Jimmy Page did the summoning of Lucifer ritual on stage while doing Stairway to Heaven I forget what performance it was, but he did it at about every performance. All right. He went through the entire ritual from the book for summoning Lucifer. So no, not unaware at all, not even in the slightest little bit.
But I will say that some
It's
are just
all-
like edgy, fucking like Jack Black and Tenacious D. I don't know if he's actually a Satanist or if he does it as a parody. I don't know.
It's all smiles and chuckles until somebody gets sacrificed.
They're all Satanists. They're all
We have
part
John
of the.
Bonham.
Yeah, they're all part of the. You don't get that. You don't get nothing without
Cobain,
Yes.
Winehouse,
The history of that
and the
period
rest.
makes no sense. It makes no sense how they went from, if you're just trying to follow the scientists, which I've been trying to do. I've just been trying to piece together, like, at least like, where would you even start learning some of these subjects where it's like impossible to like even breach? Where is that even coming from, and why do you care so much? Like we can't learn these subjects. It's weird. It's like you had that point when you started talking to, I don't know what his name was. I had to learn all your names eventually. But it's like after 60 hours of watching this, you couldn't tell me what it was because it's not like real.
That was
Yeah.
what was his name?
Yeah, no.
Pollock.
Yeah, I was asking Peter that question.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious. I wanted to come in and defend him though because you know his angle is actually very pure, and
I don't know if I could answer
not on the
that.
soil.
If you asked me what space-time was, I don't know if I could give you an answer for that.
It doesn't need
I
an
don't
answer.
know, man. I think it's a pretty quick thing to answer, and I certainly wasn't going to do his homework for him, if you know what I mean.
Of course.
Oh yeah, yeah. You're imitating them.
All he had to say, it is the fabric that affects how things propagate. You know what I mean? And it could have been the modality of a force exchange set. It could have been anything like that. And if he had even gone that far, then I'd have something to talk about with him. But the guy's just so disingenuous and half-cocked and half-assed about how he approaches anything. I wasn't about to give him any more time. He didn't.
I think
earn
he's
it.
just there to waste time. I really do think he's there to waste time.
I really related to him because I've met guys like him, and I think that they're not that bad. I have many different. I have many thoughts about it. I wanted to defend him because where he's coming from is like a pure and innocent sort of place, which is just trying to relate to it for himself. Yeah, like of course you go into something already thinking it's wrong. It's a normal cognitive process. You know, like you're helping him actually become more conscious. If you think about it.
I was just trying to, I don't know, evoke a learning mentality in the guy, because so far that's not what's going on.
But I think you did.
Somebody who pretends to watch 60 hours of video on relativity, but doesn't know anything about it at all and can't verbally reproduce any of what he's heard. That's a little much.
I don't buy it. I think he could, but he would do it in a way that he thinks you're gonna refute and make him look stupid. So I think he might have his own way of speaking about it. But it's like, oh, you're gonna crush me, so I'm gonna fucking meme about it. 39.58. You know what I mean?
That's the actual problem. The actual problem is the dishonesty, but it's not the spirit or what he actually has to say. I think what he had to say might have been very interesting because I could see in him, other people I've met, and they take when you're not coming from, I could be a science kid growing up, you come from like a very pure philosophical place about things. I'm very interested in just what's been seen. Like, what are these people actually seeing that I'm not seeing? They're trying to get pictures, they just meditate on the picture or something. What was the experiment that was done? And, they cover it up with math and stuff, but then it stops people like him from really being able to engage in the scientific dialectic. I think that you guys helped him do that. I think you guys should actually be proud of yourself. That was a good thing that you did for him.
Nah, that dude's dog shit, disingenuous as fuck, has a long history of being dog shit.
Yeah, sorry, man.
Complete waste of time. If you want to know, like, if you want to know, like, the intricacies of how his brain works, just look at a pile of shit.
I think you could start in a lot of different places, but you're not staring at this pile of shit forever. You keep on walking, the smell's not that good, you keep on going. He's a living person.
Well,
a normal
he
person
needed some
might.
negative feedback, that's for sure.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. You gave it to him. I like that. I need some of that. I've been looking for guys like you. I need colleagues. I could actually write papers in my free time, but I don't know who I would even...
Somebody
I have no
cut you down in the name of fairness?
The manifold, the Geist, yeah. The energy field rating out. Yeah, no, I have a lot of ideas. You guys just come on here and talk for hours. That's awesome. I need that so bad.
Keep track of your mic there.
I mean, I like these guys. They let me spurg out about conspiracy theories. They don't call me a weirdo.
That's important. That guy needs to learn how to talk with you guys.
I'm just waiting for you to get to the real conspiracy. Pandas don't exist or whatever.
I don't think pandas. Yeah, well, I think they exist, but I think they're a genetic abomination. Like, yeah, I think they are. Because there's no documented pandas.
No, they're a fabrication.
Yeah, I think they were created. I think like
Stone, you got that panda gravy? What's up, dude? There was a heated debate in ether cosmology one night.
Owen
captured
Benjamin
the-
was
he-
all over it.
Dude, he captured the
don't need them
narrative
first
so
battle.
well, right?
Owen just showed so many examples of where they were faking it. They're painting dogs, and they've got people in suits, and midgets, and it just goes on and on.
The
And
My
upside.
favorite line was
ridiculous it is.
what did he say? It was like the wet dream of the World Economic Forum, where it's black, it's white, it's Asian, it's suppressed, it can't take care of itself. I think that's what he said.
Comical.
I'll say this: I never looked at a panda the same again afterwards. I don't know if it's true or not, but never look at them the same.
Man, they said these things have the perfect camouflage. They're black and white and they eat bamboo.
They sleep 26 hours a day. They can only reproduce one day of the year.
They're
Did I miss
showing
anything?
in front of a green like a green
Oh,
grass and like a grayish brown tree. These
The
things are
one-
great at camouflaging.
The
big thing
Chinese
not
said, you know
mentioned
what?
yet,
The Chinese said,
China
you know what?
owns them. You don't get to own a panda. They rent them to you.
Yeah.
No, their fur. It's a big complex mathematical pattern with a differential equation. That's what creates their fur. Don't you know?
Yeah,
Yes.
He didn't want to put them in the zodiac. They wanted to make up a dragon and put that in there instead.
You guys know about cybernetics, right? It's all cybernetics. They're gonna reverse engineer evolution now. They say in you.
New
Yeah, so's the
perspective
Big
just
Bear
sent me
Jamboree
from,
at Disneyland.
Jack Parsons gravy. Yeah, Elia, yours is much smoother than mine. Mine, I have to like spam click in the areas where those things are to make them appear, but it's from the recent update.
Like, you never realize how stupid motherfuckers are.
What's that?
Oh, I think he's high.
That's
hot
it. I'm
micing.
getting a panda. I'm getting a panda tattoo. I'm ready.
Well,
Poodles
these
used to
days
look
they
way
attach the
different, too.
panda to the pedos, so I don't know if that's so wise.
It's super.
I'm gonna get a panda tattoo when he's gonna be holding the globe. Oh wait, isn't that a logo for the World Wildlife Fund already? I don't fucking care. I'm getting it right under my eye.
Funny. Like a panda, like Atlas.
A panda drop.
Holding the world up.
Yeah, dude. Fuck your teardrop. I got a panda drop, bro.
I need to figure out how to do emojis on here.
Nah.
Nah.
I don't know if is that
I don't
even
think
a
you
thing?
can.
Yeah, you
Oh,
can.
so-
I see people do it sometimes, but it's not something I've ever done,
Yeah,
so I
so
don't know.
if I were to like stream my screen, right? Then you guys could.
Yeah, you can react through that. That's what it is.
You can react through. I was looking up that Australian scientist that you mentioned. I think
How do you guys get those little logos in the corner of your icon, though? Like I noticed, Alan, you got one. Mr. Xavier's got one.
It's activity status. So you
Yeah,
can,
try long clicking your own name and see if options come up for that. There's about 8 icons in there.
Oh, right.
Like a
right.
TV I got going on right here. Watch this. I can make it disappear altogether. I can turn it into a little ghosty here.
I'm a fucking bear.
We can make it the teddy bear thing or the pizza slice because I'm getting some food. You can turn all that.
Yeah, I was looking up this thing that August Lorenz Society said. He said there's an Australian physicist who was showing molecular orbital theory on carbon dioxide, and I think you mentioned the greenhouse gas thing, but I couldn't find the Australian physicist you were talking about.
I scan books from my library and I upload them to Abiogenesis. I have a bunch of books for you.
Oh, you're the man. You're a library Genesis lad.
You go to my Twitter and I have a thread pinned. It says Jesus Christ. And you click on Jesus Christ and it goes down all the books I've scanned over the past year. And I've got a bunch more I still got to do.
The August. Okay, so this is you. Follow. Where do I go? Oh, it's the pin.
My pin thread. You have to click the Jesus Christ, and then you go down, and it's just a bunch of books I've scanned. It's like in a thread.
Oh, it's such a beast. All right, you're going in one of my schizo folders. I don't know which one.
Yes, that's correct. Hey, you know that's what I was gonna say is it's like you have to start with schizophrenia, but then, of course, you have to come back and enjoy the community of others. That's how you do science. You know, that's what happened to Hegel.
This is one of the first conspiracy theories that really. By the way, guys, if there's anything on the table, I don't have to stream and show stuff. But the Moses with horns, Moses being depicted with horns. I don't know if you guys have seen that, but so in the House chamber in the U.S. Capitol building, in the center of everything, you have these reliefs. So these are like stone reliefs that circle around the gallery in the House chamber, and in the center of all of them, there's a Moses one, and he has horns. And I think Michelangelo also depicted him as having horns. Yes, he did. So this was one of the first things that I thought was really interesting, is that Moses comes down from is it Mount Sinai after he gets the 10 Commandments, and they say he was shown SHONE, and they show him with horns. I always thought that was really interesting.
Yeah, that's pretty trippy.
Right, because this is horns. This isn't his hair, and then this is connected.
Oh
to his
yeah,
forehead
horned Moses.
distinctly.
Naturally.
Like this is distinctly part of his forehead, and see how they make distinct cuts when it's showing like hair or a nose. This is his horned Moses.
It's that cranial horn.
Michelangelo.
Yeah.
Minotaur Moses.
Disease, but people get that. They get
Minatosis?
It's like a fungus, they say.
So what do you guys think about that Michelangelo and in the U.S.
Well, I think
House chamber?
I think Moses is a lot cooler now that he's like a centaur.
Illuminati confirmed.
This is one of the first things that sort of, because he's the only one facing forward, by the way. Out of he's in the center, and then these are all the people who influenced the original Constitution. So you have Hammurabi, Gregory the Ninth, Maimonides. So this is what the U.S. law code is based on, and then in the center is Moses, the only one facing forward. He has horns.
That's so strange that they include Maimonides. He was a Jewish scholar that wrote a big part of. He contributed to the Talmud, I think.
Yeah, correct. That's what it says.
Really?
Compiled
Yeah.
a systematic exposition of the whole of Jewish law as contained in the Pentateuch and in Talmudic literature. Yes.
And they're basing this country off that. That's nice. That's nice
Yeah,
to know.
it says they depict historical figures noted for their work in establishing principles that underlie American law.
Well, they were probably all Jewish. Moses was Jewish, right? He started the Abrahamic religions.
Yes.
Yeah, so they're probably
I think
hold
Talmud
that.
Judaism is a little bit different.
Moses didn't start the Abrahamic religions. Abraham started the Abrahamic religions.
I
Really,
just think
God
that
did.
Talmud and the
According to
Torah,
them.
Talmud, Torah, Judaism, very different. One has Khazaria Ashkenazism Center.
Yeah, that's totally what I said. You guys just misheard
Who
me.
even writes history?
Oh.
Who even cares enough to write that? Like Thucydides and who even cares enough? Who's the kind of person that writes history?
Who's the kind of person that writes history?
The people who are trying to control the future.
Yeah, literally. That's a good
The
answer.
winners. The winners. This guy is Caesar. Yeah.
Hey, what's up, guys? I imagine there's all kinds of people, right, that wanna write about history, but like he said, the ones that last are the ones that are usually from the winners. The one that doesn't get censored out and marginalized. That's usually the one that's propped up by the the ones who wrote it, the winners.
Lucky for us, they all just happen to be good guys.
Yeah, it's not necessarily the good guys.
Important historical narratives. Never told a lie, chopped down a cherry tree, etc.
Apple never fell on someone's head.
What happened to that whole thing?
5,000 shares, while 18,000 of which were held by foreign interests, France, Ireland, and England.
And Larry was just lucky with his double indemnity.
You just made some investments.
Just made some investments.
So you're going to go to France and you're going to send your brother in Germany this money, and then you're going to go to England and your brother's going to send you this money and you're going to send him this money. What happened to the whole reading the Book of Nature thing? You ever notice that disappeared? No more Book of Nature to read.
Book of Nature?
Yeah, the Protestants saying that they're going to read the Book of Nature. Like, Newton and that whole kind of like that period of like scholarship in England, that was all like Protestant wackos who were saying like, we've got access to our own books, we'll do our own education, we'll teach ourselves, we'll read books stolen out of libraries, things like that. Newton going into the mountains, find dragons, stuff like that. Alchemy. Yeah, that started with, that was like a Protestant thing. They say. I don't know. But yeah, there was the whole Book of Nature. We read the Book of Nature, and that's like, we read it parallel to the scripture, and that's just another story, I'm sure. But yeah, what happened to it? I like that idea, We're reading the Book of Nature. We can all read it.
The phrase was first used.
Is that a metaphor for just going camping?
Yep.
Wow. Wow, right? That's amazing.
Yeah, Galileo came up with this. He used the term when writing about how the Book of Nature can become readable and comprehensible. It's about early Greek philosophical belief that humans are part of a coherent universe and are capable of understanding the design of the natural world through reason.
That's not true. It's not. He didn't get it from the Greeks. He got that reading the Bible. It's not Greek. Oh, I think he was Trinitarian, but he's quoted. I remember one quote from him. It's my favorite quote from any scientist ever, and he said that it's with the greatest simplicity that God's works are done. It's the perfection of God's works that they are done with the greatest simplicity. He is the God of order, not confusion. I remember reading that quote. I was like 19. I was like, that makes me want to be a scientist. You could talk like that?
Yeah, I'm getting confused by this Wikipedia article. It says the concept corresponds to the early Greek philosophical belief, but then it says the concept originating in the Latin Middle Ages.
Wow.
How can
they just copy and paste it.
Well, it can correspond with something, meaning like it aligns with some later ideologies that came along afterwards. That's all they're basically saying.
Epigonic renaissances, little renaissances that came up. Like we have the Renaissance, and that was like the big Renaissance, and then all the little renaissances that happened after that, we don't give them Renaissance.
Right.
We don't call what we're doing right now a Renaissance. It's like, why not?
Also,
Who says that we're
sorry
living
for
in an
being
age of
light
decline?
forward for phone users. Wikipedia.
That's beautiful.
Probably.
Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome. Yeah, I didn't know about this. This is also going in my I'll have a look at this. Natural flow. Yeah.
There's a
Not
lot of
huge
hinges.
on the Greeks. I think the Greeks have their own I think there's good parts of the Greeks and weird parts of the Greeks. I think they liked spheres too much.
Interesting. Yes, I wonder. I thought a lot about atomism. It's like, where did they get that from? It's kind of my conclusion, just kind of surveying that literature, the best that like you could find it on Google and stuff. I mean, I have some things collected, but like my opinion is kind of that like these guys kind of understood that everything they were doing was just like in pure thought. They had like an idea of like the atom as a possibility in thought, and like that is part of what there was an idealist thing. There were also people who were physicalists and so forth, but like where like the actual intuition comes from, it comes from like breaking down an argument. People think like, oh, atomism came from like how small can I cut something, but then they forget like where does the thought for even that come from?
All right, lads. I'm going to wrap up for the night. Hope you all enjoyed. You can catch us tomorrow on Flat Earth Fridays. And then Monday will be reading night. We're probably going to be reading over this DeMeo book here regarding the history of ether and whatnot. It looks very interesting. So we're going to check that out on Monday. Then Tuesday, Dr. Bennett, a.k.a. Cassander, will be joining us again, where he'll be presenting part 2 of the Alpha Hildegarde ether model. So we're looking forward to that. That'll be awesome. And then that following Thursday will be another community Twitter/Discord space. Hopefully Twitter doesn't stop working mid-session again. And then, of course,